Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another Wheaton Thunder football game on a beautiful Saturday afternoon here in Wheaton, Illinois. We are back at McCulley Stadium for this afternoon's CCIW matchup between your home Wheaton Thunder, ranked number 15 in the nation, versus the visiting Millikin Big Blue. Wheaton will be wearing orange tops and orange bottoms. The visiting Big Blue will be wearing white tops and blue bottoms. This is going to be a great game today, Noah. I've been looking forward to this. This is also Wheaton's family day, so we've got a lot of loyal Wheaton fans here in the crowd. Should be a great matchup. Wheaton last week winning in impressive fashion, 61-9. Millikin also picking up a win last week against the Elmhurst Blue Jays. They won that game 13-0, shutting out the Blue Jays. What are we expecting to see today, Noah?
Today will be a very great matchup between the star defensive line of Millikin, especially led by Alexander Perkins, the senior.
It is ahead.
Carpenter.
Wheaton, you have won the toss.
As Wheaton wins the toss.
Wheaton has won the toss and elected to defer to the second half.
They will defer, as you just heard. Alexander Perkins, out of Carpentersville, Illinois, is third in the nation in sacks and second in tackles for loss so far this year. He has been an absolute stud for the Millikin Big Blue, but he will be going up against a really star-studded Wheaton offensive line. As we've seen so far this year, there has not been a ton of pressure that Will Bowers, fifth-year grad transfer quarterback for Wheaton, has faced so far this year, allowing him to now get up to the third highest completion percentage in the nation so far. So we'll see how much the Wheaton offensive line can hold back the Big Blue defense.
I think on the other side of the ball, Wheaton with a really impressive defensive line as well. The Millikin offensive line has not been able to protect their quarterbacks very well this season. We were talking pre-broadcast, and I believe the number was 36 that Millikin starting quarterback Aiden Lombardo has been sacked so far this season. For those of you who've been keeping up with the Thunder this season, we've seen a lot of defensive plays, a lot of defensive highlights. Their defensive line is absolutely phenomenal at what they do, followed by a great linebacking core, and of course your defensive backs have just played really great football this year. So I'm excited to see how our defensive line does today against the Millikin offense.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been a very complete defensive showing from Wheaton throughout this entire year. The senior-led defensive line all across the board, picking up sacks, picking up tackles for loss, and putting a ton of pressure on the opposing QBs, which has allowed their linebackers and defensive backs to really pick up some interceptions. Sam Bell now leading the team with 5 interceptions already this year. Looking to continue that here as we prepare for the opening kickoff.
Yeah, Wheaton will kick off here, hoping to come away today with a victory. That would extend their winning streak to 4 games. They've won the last 3, all very impressively. Millikin's win against Elmhurst last week took them out of the loss column that they were in the week before, and Millikin will hope to pull off an upset here today against the favored number 15 Wheaton Thunder. So here go the Thunder with the kickoff. This will be Caleb Mary in the orange kicking off the ball. Nice kick there from Mary. He had the wind also helping him. and Millikin will call for a fair catch, so they will start on offense. And we'll see what the Millikin offense can drum up here. We're going to see just exactly what today has in store for us. Just to look ahead, too, Wheaton's 5-1 in the CCIW. They've got 2 more games. Next week they'll be visiting Washington University in St. Louis before finishing up their regular season against North Park back here at home. And that'll be Wheaton's senior day as well. Millikin will continue their CCIW season next week and the following against Carroll and Carthage, respectfully. So starting off with a carry here for the Millikin offense, that's Lombardo with a handoff. Not much there for the Millikin offense.
Absolutely not. As you said before the broadcast, Wheaton's defensive line has been dominant this year, and we can see that here on the Thrivent Financial replay. They win every single matchup, it looks like, on this initial run play. Millikin's trying to run a zone read there to take their zone steps around the defensive line, and none of them are able to get positioning on them.
So we'll see here after a loss of 1 on that first opening offensive play. They're going to go to the pass here, and Adam Lombardo swallowed up by the Wheaton defensive line. He had nowhere to go, and you could just see the defensive line here just absolutely come in strong. You can see the defenders swarming, and Aiden Lombardo, I think we might be seeing a little bit more of that, maybe more than a little bit for the rest of the day. So already a 3rd and long here for the Millikin offense, 3rd and 17. The Thunder defensive front proving to be a very formidable unit.
Absolutely. Jaden Ferlita picking up that sack there, now tied for the team lead with 5.5. And Wheaton will now force a punt here after a 3rd down failed to convert. We see once again a good blitz there, this time by Jalen Schaefer. The play before that by the starting middle linebacker for today, Keegan Babick. Both of them really causing havoc, especially with Millikin's offensive line not able to contain the D-line. That really frees up the blitz opportunities, which we'll see a lot today.
Yeah, and Lombardo actually had Cord Miller, it was his intended receiver. Miller had a little bit of space and could have hauled that in, but just ball came off his hands as Wheaton's going to take the punt here. Short punt into the wind. That's taken by McNeil Stout, and there is a flag on the play, so we're going to hear from the referee in just a moment what that's about.
Block in the back. 51 of the receiving team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. 1st down.
So that'll be a block in the back against Philip Lachurko of your own Wheaton Thunder. So that'll be enforced here on the start of this offensive possession. Here come the Wheaton offensive starters led by Will Bowers, who we talked about just a few minutes ago. Bowers last week was 5th in Division III in completion percentage, now up 2 spots to 3rd, completing 75.4% of his passes, averaging over 200 offensive yards a game. And Bowers, while that might not seem super impressive, when you think about the fact that Bowers has played in just about half of every game just because of the lead that Wheaton's built up, it certainly gives more to how impressive he's been as he hands off to Giovanni Weeks, who takes it right up the middle. And Giovanni Weeks, talking about offensive stars, we can't have that conversation without talking about Gio Weeks. He's had a great season already after last season setting a season record 20 touchdowns. He's been playing absolutely fantastic this season as well.
Absolutely. Gio Weeks has been a star for the last 2 years. He's now 12th all-time in Wheaton's rushing yard total for their career, and he has a good shot at getting into the top 10 today.
Bowers will go to the pass here, and he finds Jack Allen out of the backfield. Allen moving up the sideline. Nice moves there by Jack Allen, staying shifty and able to pick up a 1st down there.
It's a great job by Allen on a little, he's jetting out to start the play, giving Bowers a nice easy target to throw to start it off his day. It's the reason he's been so efficient with his completion percentage so far this year. They've had a lot of those really effective short passes that they can take for big gains with the yards after catch.
Bowers looking to the sideline to get some instruction from his coaching staff. Tucker pre-snap motion, and there's going to be a flag there on the play.
False start.
So the Thunder will back up here.
False start. Offense number 78. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
So that's going to go against senior Paul Fay. False start called on him. So the Wheaton offense will back up 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15. The ball on the Millikin 47, excuse me.
Looked like on that play they were trying to get Matthew Tucker open in space with the jet option there. Wouldn't be surprised to see them try to target him again.
Millikin showing blitz, and it's a handoff right away to Giovanni Weeks, who is swallowed up, and that's going to be no gain there for Giovanni Weeks. You can just see the Millikin Big Blue linebacking core just come in. They were showing blitz, and the run play is just not a great way to combat that, and Giovanni Weeks swallowed up right away. It'll be no gain. So 2nd and 15 for the Thunder offense. We've seen the Thunder in a position like this a few times this season, and they've pretty much managed to pull it off every single time. So we're going to see here as Bowers goes back to pass. Bowers hit hard by multiple Big Blue defenders, and he's down. Looks like we had Christopher Montgomery was in there, as well as Alexander Perkins. Just that's exactly what we were talking about before the broadcast and before kickoff. Noah, that imposing defensive line from the Big Blue is going to be one of the most difficult things on the slate today for the Wheaton offense. Is now Wheaton facing a very long 3rd down, 3rd and 24. They're going to have an impressive play here, and this play will be whistled dead. And if I saw the ref correctly, it looks like we're going to have yet another false start.
False start. Offense number 2. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
This has been interesting so far from Wheaton's offensive line. We haven't seen a lot of false start penalties. They haven't really been challenged too much so far earlier this year. So they're facing up probably their best opponent that they've faced since North Central's defensive line. And it's seeming to put a lot of pressure on them.
And there's Gio Weeks on the delayed handoff, and Giovanni Weeks, he's going, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone. 3rd and 29. The Wheaton Thunder go with a play to Giovanni Weeks, and he takes it all the way for the touchdown.
That was a fantastic play call from the Thunder right there. It's a nice running back delay there. They fake the pass blocking steps, get all of that Millikin defensive line so aggressive. They go flying upfield, never even are expecting Gio Weeks to take it up the middle. And by that point, all the linebackers are gone in coverage, and he's got an easy walk into the end zone for a nice 60-yard touchdown.
Yeah, and we'll see here on the Thrive Financial replay after the extra point attempt. I'm pretty sure Giovanni Weeks was completely untouched on that run, and he just has such impressive acceleration, just getting up to his top speed so fast. Let's take a look here at the Thrive Financial replay. Like you said, no, you can see showing pass before the delayed handoff, and Giovanni Weeks, when he gets going, you can't catch him, and just look at his stride, carry him all the way down the field. What an impressive touchdown after a really just not what you want to see as an offensive player. If you look up at the scoreboard and see a 3rd and 29, and I'm very, very certain that the Millikin Big Blue, even though knowing that Giovanni Weeks is such an impressive offensive player, did not expect a run play on 3rd and 29, and Giovanni Weeks and the Wheaton offense take advantage of them not expecting it and turn it into 7 points.
That's an electric play from Gio Weeks, and now he's very close to moving into the top 10 all-time on rushing yards for Wheaton, just 30 yards away. And after picking up a 60-yard carry there, I think it's pretty likely we'll see him get into that top 10 today.
Yep, so that'll be Giovanni Weeks already with 66 yards on just 3 carries. Obviously, his long one being that 61-yarder with the touchdown as well.
It's another great kick there from Caleb Mary to start off the second offensive drive for the Big Blue. Caleb Mary's been a very consistent kickoff specialist for Wheaton so far this year. That'll be another touchback for him, the 4th so far for Mary. It's been a solid year for him so far for the senior kicker.
Yep, not only has he been good on kickoffs, but he's also been super reliable on extra points, kicking just over 90%, and that's just great to see for an offense. Welcome back, folks. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We're glad to be back. While we were away, the Thunder defense was able to stifle the offensive hopes of the Big Blue, force them to punt, which went into the end zone. So the Thunder now on offense, and just a few moments ago we had a nice catch and run by Ben Juska as Jack Allen will take this one out of the backfield on the catch, and he is swarmed by the Big Blue defenders but taken out of bounds, and there'll be a flag here at the end of the play. We could see a potential another flag about just a late hit or unnecessary roughness. We've already seen one of those. We're going to see here Coach Jesse Scott is talking to one of the referees, and the refs just in general seem to be conversing about what's going on. We'll hear it right now.
Illegal block in the back. Offense number 6. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
Undisciplined play here from Wheaton so far, which is uncharacteristic for them this year. That's already their 6th penalty, I believe, which puts them back once again. Last time they were in this situation, of course, they had a really great run from Weeks for the touchdown, but they don't want to keep putting themselves like this, especially in a close game here. So entering this drive, Giovanni Weeks already has 82 yards. He is now only 15 yards away from breaking into the top 10 all time, so we could see that here in the next few plays.
And this time we'll get a pass to Tyler Gauthier, who had the penalty called against him on the last one, and Gauthier taking that one and making up for some lost yardage.
Watch, sorry, this is a replay from before on the defense. It's a great tackle there by Babick. But on that last play, we saw Elijah Nitz, the starting left tackle senior for Wheaton, just go flying down and level a cornerback. That's one of the most fun things that a lineman can do. Go hit one of the skinny boys. And it was great to open up that screen pass there.
Yep, Bowers this time will give it to Weeks, and Gio's got plenty of room moving around his defender and is finally brought down after what could have been a much longer run.
Absolutely could have been, but that will be enough to put him into the top 10, passing Dan Price, the 2003 grad, and Devin Leftwich, the 1992 grad, to put him with 2,200 yards, just over 2,200 yards for his career. Top 10 all time, just a really fantastic career for Giovanni Weeks with the Thunder football program.
And Gio with that nice run will get the Thunder another fresh set of downs as Bowers takes it himself, and Bowers moving through, evading the defense. Bowers with a nice pickup. That'll go for at least 15 yards and a first down. This is the first time we've seen Bowers using his legs this game, and it always makes the Thunder happy to see Bowers able to be so mobile, very just shifty on that run there, able to just skirt through the various lines of the defense and pick up a big first down.
Yeah, he doesn't run much, but when he does, he's been effective with it. Over 5 yards per carry, which includes the sacks. So he's definitely been an effective rusher for Wheaton so far.
Bowers back to pass against heavy pressure. He steps forward and finds wide open for the touchdown. That is Tyler Gauthier with another touchdown for him. He's had a fantastic season. That'll be Gauthier's 5th touchdown this year for the Wheaton Thunder. And what a great play there. Gauthier had just broke away from his defender and was wide open. And just to the nearer side of the field, another wide receiver was also open. So Bowers had his pick of the litter there for the touchdown.
Yeah, the Big Blue go with a major blitz package on that play. And so they're forced to go man-to-man with their DBs against Wheaton's offense, as the extra point is missed that time, so it'll be a 13-3 game. That touchdown, though, wide open from Gauthier. The man coverage just looked like it, as we see on the Thrivent Financial replay, looks like it's number 2 who's matched up one-on-one on Gauthier, gets his head in the backfield, and he's completely passed up for a wide open touchdown by Gauthier.
Yeah, and you can see there, too, on the left side of your screen, Matthew Tucker was also wide open. And that's great to see the Thunder offense get back on track. Coach Jesse Scott talking to his players right now. He's certainly got to be happy after the Thunder able to finish off a drive like that. Good to see them get back. Great effort there on all aspects from Tyler Gauthier on that drive. He had a call go early in the drive against him with a block in the back. Very next play, he picked up a nice chunky yardage on a short catch and run, and after Giovanni Weeks got them a little bit more yardage, Gauthier finishing off the drive with a touchdown catch. So it'll be Mary with the kickoff into the wind. He missed his extra point, also kicking into the wind. That'll be a fair catch called by the Big Blue. And their offense will take the field and scan. That was Joseph Bibbs taking the ball there for the Big Blue on the return. And now we'll see the Wheaton Thunder defense once again on the field, hoping to make their presence felt. They've been really impressive so far this game. We had an early interception from Riley Schwartz. Excuse me, it was Max Wilson with the early interception. We've had some action too where the Thunder defensive line has been able to get into the Big Blue backfield and bring Lombardo down, but in the past few possessions, the Big Blue have run a lot of rollouts, and Lombardo's been able to avoid the pressure. As a little trick play here, this time back to Joseph Bibbs, who just was the return man, and that play had an interesting, promising design, but just did not end up going anywhere. You can see the pitch here to Bibbs as he goes back, reverses field, and the Thunder defense is just too experienced to fall for something like that. Virgil Cannon coming in and crossing his arms after getting the takedown there.
Yeah, the way the Wheaton defense is set up, on one side they will have a force player, on the other it's a reverse player, and depending on which way the play goes, that's where they'll go. So the force player is meant to always force the ball back inside to the D linemen and linebackers, and the reverse player is meant to wait back for plays like that.
Yeah, and that is a missed tackle there by the Thunder defense after sending two defenders into the backfield on the blitz. You could see Lombardo was able to get the ball out to Matthew Salazar, his running back, who is able to just spin out of the potential tackle. Salazar eventually taken down by Clay Campbell there, but after picking up a first down. So the Big Blue offense able to move the chains, despite having just a group that's not nearly as experienced as the Thunder defense. They've been able to move the ball. You got to give them credit, especially on those pass plays. They've been able to pick up big chunks of yardage.
Yeah, they've had a couple of really big plays that have helped them out so far. That's a great play on the defensive side by Caleb Kuhn, picking up another tackle for loss. He already leads the team. That'll be his 9th already this year. Completely stuffs that play where it's back behind the line. Looked like they were trying to go for a zone read, but I don't know if they were scheming to not block him or they just forgot, but it did not work out either way.
Yeah, if you're not familiar with the term being swallowed up by a defender in terms of football, there's no better play to give you an example of it than that.
Exactly.
As Lombardo out to Aiden Whitlock, who is able to pick up a reception after a few targets just a few minutes ago on their last offensive drive, and Whitlock able to haul that one in after an early drop earlier in the game, and is taken down by Clay Campbell as well as Sam Bell.
Yeah, Whitlock, the sophomore, didn't have much experience coming into this game. Only 4 catches before today, but he's already seen 5 or 6 targets already, as he's been one of Lombardo's main options so far.
Yep, so the Big Blue offense facing a 3rd down, 3rd and 5 here. Lombardo jetting through and taken down by the Wheaton defense. Lombardo is not going to be able to get away with that again as the defenders closed in on him so quickly. Look at the Thrivent Financial replay here. The defensive linemen just absolutely swarming, throwing the linemen, attempting to block them out of the way, and just taking Lombardo down.
It's a fantastic job by Braden Anthony. He knows his job, which we saw a little bit of a breakdown early on the big play. They didn't hold contain, came early on the run. This time Anthony stays outside, waits for the quarterback to cut in, and then just tosses his lineman and is able to still pick up the tackle for loss.
So this will be another punt. High snap, almost blocked by the Thunder, and because of that pressure, it's going to be a short punt taken by McNeil Stout, who, despite the pressure from incoming defenders, decides to try and return it. It's going to be nothing there, though. As you can see in the Thrivent Financial replay, there were 2 Big Blue defenders coming in, 3, 4. McNeil Stout hoping to make a play, not able to, but the Thunder offense will come back out onto the field with not terrible starting positions. They'll get a fresh set of downs to start off here. We've got just under 8 minutes left here in the first half of play. Thunder up 10 points on the visiting Big Blue.
It's a great job there from the punter, David Navarra, to keep his composure. Had a high snap from the long snapper, Vincent Couch, but he stays in there and still delivers a good, solid punt for them.
Bowers handoff. Nope, excuse me. Bowers keeper along the sideline. That'll be a nice little gain there for the Thunder. Looks like that'll be about 4 or 5 for Bowers on the keeper there.
We see on the Thriving Financial replay a lot of fakes to Geo Weeks today, which is been really effective. This time they get Quentin Miller. He's chasing down Weeks even after Bowers is long past him.
Yep.
They've got a really good defensive line, but they've had enough misdirection to have some success here today.
The Thunder offense once again. Pitch here to Ben Juska, who's coming around. Big body. Ben Juska, tight end. He's going to be hard to take down. Great play there from Ben Juska, able to pick up some yardage, and that'll be a first down Thunder.
Yeah, Juska with the end around on that play. Goes a little bit backwards to go forward, which you don't always want, but when you have somebody that big, it's tough to take him down like you said. So he picks up a first down. That's another rush from Juska, which we haven't seen a lot of before today, but I think that's his second or third already.
Yeah, definitely interesting to see the Thunder spicing things up a little bit on the offensive side of the ball, trying out some new things as they continue to round out into what they hope will be postseason form, as Matthew Tucker picks up a nice chunk of yardage there on the pass from Bowers. He'll be spotted close to a first down, so it's going to be second and short here for the Thunder. Quite literally second and a yard, if you can see the chains on the far side of the field.
That time, Tucker's matched up with a linebacker one-on-one in Alex Ariza from Millikin, but he, once again, just uses his speed. We saw it earlier with Gautier using his speed to beat a linebacker. This time, it's Tucker to pick up a good solid chunky yardage.
This time the handoff goes to Christian Karstens, it looks like, who is in the game. Yeah, that's Christian Karstens with the carry, and not much there, but
enough to pick up a first down.
Enough for a first down, exactly.
That's all you need. Just 1 yard, but we'll definitely take the first down.
So fresh set of downs for the Thunder. They're just behind midfield. Still plenty of time left on the clock here in this first half. The Thunder content to move the chains as slowly as need be, grinding it out, short passes as well as runs here. Christian Carson still in the game. No handoff for him this time, and Bowers able to escape the pressure, and he was looking for a receiver, and Coach Jesse Scott adamant that there should have been a flag there for pass interference. As we'll see here on the replay, just a lot of bodies getting mixed up. We've got a defender falling. Looks like could have gone either way. There probably could have been a flag thrown, but the refs don't throw one, so that's going to be an incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10 here for the Thunder.
Yeah, another QB hurry there from Alexander Perkins. He's already at 8 on the year. It's his second of the day. Just a little bit too much pressure and forcing Bowers to throw off his back foot. Throws off his back foot there, and he finds Matthew Tucker way down the field. That's a pickup of another 30 yards. Just nobody around him. Bowers hesitated for a moment, just thinking, could he be that wide open? And he was. As we see on the Thriving Financial replay here, it's a great job holding the pocket together from the line. It's a throw down the field to Tucker, and there's just nobody there. So he picks up 35 yards, puts Wheaton onto the 25 here.
Yeah, and Wheaton has just been so good today at picking up big chunks of yardage exactly when they need them, as Bowers back to pass despite the pressure, targeting back corner of the end zone, and that's caught by Gautier, but they're going to call him out of bounds. Could have been a touchdown there. The ball had just been inside the sideline just a little bit more, but still, take a look there. What a great ball from Will Bowers despite the pressure. He was getting hit as he threw, and just hopefully a sign of things to come here as this drive continues to inch closer to the end zone.
Yeah, that was a perfect pass from getting hit. It's a great job from the D-line, Quentin Miller, to put the pressure on, but Bowers still able to deliver on that ball, just a little off.
This time it'll be a toss to Giovanni Weeks, who goes along the sideline and picks up a nice gain there. Not enough for a first, but still a nice bit of yardage there for Giovanni Weeks.
haven't seen a ton of success running the ball up the middle, but we've seen a lot of outside runs, some outside zones, some toss sweeps like that play where they're getting away from the D-line and trying to attack the linebacking core from Millikin, who is a little bit less experienced than that defensive line is. They're back 7, and that's where they found the most success so far.
The Thunder putting in an extra receiver after taking out their tight end, and Bowers is able to escape the pressure, and Bowers running through, putting his shoulder down. Wow. Impressive to see Bowers play so physically there. Take a look at the Thriving Financial replay. He's being pursued. That's number 4, Quentin Miller, who almost takes him down, but Bowers able to escape, and he'll be spotted very close to the line, and they're going to literally be 4th and inches here. Looks like we're going to get a timeout here. The Thunder going to use this timeout to regroup a little bit, see what they have up their sleeve on this 4th and 1 here.
Will Bowers is a fantastic quarterback. We've seen that throughout the year with his passing, the accuracy. He's in the top 3 in the Division III in accuracy. He's already got a ton of passing touchdowns. He's at 21 now, I believe. But what we've seen today is some of those extra things, some of those intangibles. Chasing down after the interception to stop it from being a pick six, which then holds Millikin to a field goal because of that effort. Right there, the physicality. He's a good runner because he's got speed, yes, but right there, he had the leading tackler for Millikin, their defensive tackle, Quentin Miller, who is 260 pounds, against Will Bowers, and Will Bowers ran through him. He beat his strength right there, and then he still finishes with enough to put them on a 4th and inches instead of a loss of 5. So now Wheaton has a good shot at potentially getting this first down and a touchdown. Bowers has been a star for Wheaton so far.
There's really no flaws in his game. I mean, the more you watch him, of course, you're going to see those times where, like earlier in the game, an interception gets thrown, but, I mean, you just look across the board at his ability to run, to pass. Like we mentioned earlier, he's 3rd in Division III in completion percentage, completing over 75% of his passes, 5-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio. Just an absolute stud at the quarterback position. Bowers with a handoff to Giovanni Weeks, and that'll be a Thunder first down.
Where are they going to spot him? Just to confirm, the first down here. Yes, they will give him the first down. So, that's, once again, running up the middle, just to get those few inches that they need. Not a ton of spacing there. And once again, they just challenge Quentin Miller, who beats the offensive lineman, but Weeks is able to run through him to get just a few yards after contact.
Yep, Wheaton with room to breathe now with a fresh set of downs. Just 15 yards from their end zone, and Ben Juska with yet another carry. Look at him go. Man, when Ben Juska gets going, he is hard to take down, as you can see there, rumbling through the backfield along the defense and just putting his hand out, just not able to be taken down by those smaller defenders. And, man, it is fun to watch Ben Juska take a handoff and run.
Yeah, Wheaton's resident freight train for the offense there, picking up another rush. Just a ton of yards after contact for him in this game so far. It's been a good game plan for Wheaton.
Yeah, it's been cool to see them use him as a runner, unlock a whole new part of his game as Bowers finds his receiver on that little comeback route there. That is, I think, Will Eggleston, if I can see correctly here, just able to come back to that pass, bring it in. Nice little gain there, gets them ever closer to the end zone. Yeah, that's Will Eggleston, the senior, on the reception there. He's been good for the Thunder this season in the time he's been able to play. So the Thunder now 3rd and 1. And if they get that first down, they'll have a fresh set of downs within 5 yards of the end zone. And they're going to go with a run here.
Giovanni Weeks into the end zone for a touchdown. That's another, we've talked about not great success running up the middle. They proved us wrong right there with the touchdown. There's that trap play that we saw earlier. This time they are able to kick out the middle linebacker, so that'll free up the lane for Weeks. As we'll see after the extra point on the Thriving Financial replay, I want you to watch the offensive guard and the center just blow up the defensive tackle off of the pole, and then I believe the offensive tackle takes out that middle linebacker to free up the lane.
Yeah, that's 13 total touchdowns on the season for Giovanni Weeks, 9 rushing 4 receiving.
Wow. So they get the extra point there. It looked like it was blocked, but they still muscled it through. So it's actually a counterplay, my bad. You see a great pull there from number 79 to kick out the defensive end, number 69, 69, Elijah Nitz. Just a great pull from a tackle to kick out the defensive end, and then the linebackers are all taken care of by the other linemen on that side of the field, so Weeks is able to get into the end zone.
Yeah, after that first quarter where we saw the Millikin Big Blue putting up a pretty impressive fight against the Thunder were able to only put up 7 points in the first quarter, which is very uncharacteristic of them. Especially in the games we've seen at home, the Thunder have been particularly potent in the first half. Very obvious as to why. It's because that's the time where the starters spend the most time in, but able to pick up some slack in the second quarter. We're seeing more of the Thunder that we know and love, as they've been able to put up 2 touchdowns so far here in the second. And this kickoff from Caleb Mary will get taken by Joseph Bibbs, who we've seen a little bit of this game as a returner. We also saw him as the recipient of a little jet sweep on the last offensive possession for the Big Blue. That one did not go anywhere. But we've still seen him so far this game. 2 minutes and 46 seconds left in the second quarter here. The Thunder defense once again on the field. Noah, what do you think we're going to be seeing from the Big Blue offense here?
So they've found the most success on their pass plays, but it's not been super consistent. When they've found that success, they've had to roll out of the pocket. So I would expect a lot more of that. You'll see some rollouts, trying to find those deep plays that they've had success with before.
Lombardo with a quick pass. He just loaded up and threw that one right away. Did not take long to gather anything up in the pocket, and his intended receiver was Aiden Whitlock, the tight end, who we saw actually jetting up the sideline. So not often that we see tight ends taking targets for a long pass, but Whitlock was just not able to get to that ball in time. Just a little overthrown there by Lombardo. So it'll be a 2nd and 10 here. The ball on the Millikin 25.
Yeah, Whitlock lifts as a tight end, but he's played more of a receiver role today. As we see another pass here, not able to make a connection with Cord Miller on that play. Whitlock, they're trying to use his size there going down the field. He's got decent speed for, it makes sense to be a tight end when he's 6'3", 210, but they're trying to use him more to essentially catch those long jump balls, which just a little too far on that play, and then once again on the last play, a little out in front of Cord Miller. Just miscommunications. He doesn't quite feel comfortable, it looks like, Aiden Lombardo, with these new receivers.
Yeah, Cord Miller has he's listed as one of their top receivers on the depth chart, but just him and Lombardo have just not been on the same page today. We'll see, as again, we have a lot more game to be played. If they can get on the same page,
Wheaton.
we get a timeout.
Their second charge timeout of the half.
It's a catch from one of their big men there, number 32, Ian Haggerty, the running back. But it'll be 4th and long. Millikin's going to be forced to punt now, I would assume. So Wheaton will get one more drive, potentially, before halftime. And with that last drive, probably going to look to spread the ball around a little bit more.
Yep.
If Wheaton can score here, if they're able to get one more touchdown, you'll have a 3-score lead. You'll feel very comfortable going into halftime.
Yep.
Able to potentially get some of those reserves in for a few extra minutes there into the second half.
Yeah, so 2.5 minutes left here. For a team like Wheaton, that is plenty of time for their offense to get down the field. But we're going to have a punt here, like you said. It's worth noting, Noah, you mentioned earlier that Millikin has run a fake punt this year, so this would be a time where... Oh, and the fumbled snap down, and not able to get away. It's blocked by the defense, and they recover the botched punt at the 1-yard line. Wow, what a turn of events there. The Thunder special teams...
Let's watch this replay.
Wow, capitalizing on that terrible snap there. David Nawara just forced to retreat and pick up this really low snap. The last time, if you remember, the punt team was out there for the Big Blue. The snap was really high, this time really low. Rolls along the ground, Nawara not able to corral it in. And the Thunder special team just pouncing on that ball. And now the Thunder with another red zone opportunity just moments after scoring their last touchdown.
Yeah, Philip Wachurko picking up the block to put Wheaton on the 1. As we see Bowers throwing to pick up that touchdown. This time it's to Will Eggleston. There you go. That's what you needed. You needed some special team success to really spark this team. Now Wheaton feels really confident going into halftime.
Yeah, Will Eggleston picking up his first touchdown of his senior season. So an exciting moment for him. And man, the Thunder, after playing very unlike themselves in the first quarter, have just completely turned back into the dominant team that we know here in the second. Now up 26-3, and after a hopeful Caleb Mary make here on the extra point, they'll be up 27-3. And that extra point is good. So Mary with only one miss on the day, making all the others. So the Thunder now up 24 on the visiting Big Blue. Look at here, this nice find here. Eggleston just right outside the end zone takes that, spins past his defender. Easy touchdown for him.
It's a perfect route from Eggleston there. Just puts himself inside of the end zone. The defender is playing behind him, which is not going to get the job done there, as Eggleston's able to catch it just right on the line and put himself in. So now Wheaton with a 3-second offensive drive there will be kicking the ball back to Millikin. Millikin is on the edge here. If they want to have a shot in this game, they'll have to score right now before halftime.
Yeah, I think after that punt, which wouldn't surprise me with the score that they were at, choosing to punt, but now I think if they face a fourth down, I think we're probably going to see them go for it, just because, like you said, at this point in the game, if you're the Big Blue, you're desperate to get some points on the board before halftime. This will be Caleb Mary kicking off once again for his Thunder. Nice kick there from Mary. Taken by the Big Blue. That's Cord Miller, who hasn't touched the ball in a return yet this game, but gets his hands on it that time. He picks up just a few yards after getting the ball there. You can see him. He's got some blockers out front, but just nowhere to go. Again, the Thunder special teams, just as we just saw them on that punt block, and just great play from them. This Thunder special teams, just the Thunder. I just struggle with with finding the words to describe the dominance of this team. No matter what aspect of play you look at, they are just so good.
Yeah, they've been dominant on all sides of the ball. Really, that's another hit on the quarterback there. He's able to deliver there. It's a solid pass completed to number 87, Joseph Bibbs. We'll see on the Thriving Financial replay, you have two defensive linemen in his face there, but he's still able to get the ball off. On that kickoff return, you were mentioning the special teams play has been really dominant with the blocked punt and then just swallowing up a return. That's a tackle for the freshman Mansell Amos on that return. Now the defense, Millikin's trying to hurry it up here, but not having a ton of success.
Yep, that's Ian Haggerty with a few yards picked up there, just right up the middle, but you're going to have to keep the defense on its heels to really try and get some success. We've also got the fact that Millikin does have 2 timeouts, but they're choosing to let the clock run right now, which is not surprising, but they're going to hope to make something happen here. They're going to need a big yardage play here to have a chance of getting into the end zone here. Lombardo with a quick pass out to Caleb Patton. We haven't seen him much this game so far, but that's a reception for the tight end, and he steps out of bounds at the very end to stop the clock. So 1 minute and 14 seconds here for the Big Blue offense. They're about at around the 40-yard line, around the 50-yard line here. They're going to hope to make something happen. If you're the Big Blue, I mean, you're going to want to just take what you can get. So even getting a field goal here would be a positive for them. But obviously, in a perfect world, they'd get a touchdown here. But we're going to see what they have here planned. This is a 2-minute drill against the Thunder defense, is a position that few offenses would want to be in. And there's a flag. The play is whistled dead here.
Be a false start. That's definitely not what they were looking for. So now they'll be forced to have a 3rd and long, so they're going to have to go for that deep ball again. And Wheaton's probably, if they follow their game plan they've done so far, they're going to put a lot of pressure on quarterback, sending a blitz.
False start. 17 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down. Game clock operator, please put 1:14 on the clock, please.
So that's Donald McGee for the Big Blue getting the false start called against him. McGee's actually been their leading receiver so far this game, but that penalty goes against him. So now 3rd and long here for the Big Blue offense, and Lombardo airs it out and just cannot connect. He targeted McGee on that pass and just overthrew him. You could also see some great coverage there from the Wheaton defense. Sam Bell running in at the very end of that play. I honestly thought he was going to get close enough to intercept it there, but just not able to. The punt team is back out for the Big Blue, so electing not to try and go for it. And behind midfield with a 4th and 7, I mean, it's a pretty tough situation, so not surprised to see the punt team. And it's another low snap and almost blocked. McNeil Stout's going to let it roll. Man, the punt team for Millikin has just really had a hard day at the office. Another really just a snap that was far from ideal, and the Thunder almost capitalizing on that one. It looked like there was about every special teams player around Nawara as he was able to get that ball away. Just impressive that he was able to even get a punt off there, but the Thunder now with a little bit of a longer field here. They've got about 80 yards to go to get into the end zone, but they've got 1 minute on the clock, 1 timeout left for the Thunder. We're going to see what they decide to do. They're going to go with a handoff to Giovanni Weeks. We saw a very similar run play earlier in the game. It was actually the Giovanni Weeks touchdown run on a delayed handoff. So you can see they show pass, end up giving it to Weeks, and Gio just looked a little slow there on taking the handoff. Looked maybe like he wasn't expecting it, but the Thunder getting bottled up there. Loss of 5 on the play, so 2nd and 15, and they're going to go into the victory formation here, so they're just going to kneel out the clock. So that will be the final play of the first half, and what a first half it was. We had plays on the defensive and offensive side of the ball.
Timeout. Millikin, their second charge timeout of the half.
So Millikin will force Wheaton to kneel it down either 1 or 2 more times. They still have another timeout left. On that last play, it's a great job from the defensive tackle, Quentin Miller. He's double-teamed, and he has a really great spin move to get that TFL on Gio Weeks. You were right. There was looked like just not a smooth handoff there. So now Wheaton will just kneel it again. Yep. But going into halftime here, Wheaton definitely has to be happy with their second quarter. Wasn't a clean first quarter, but now up by 24. They have seen some great success from Weeks and from Bowers and from Gauthier with the touchdown as well. And the defense especially has been a real key to this game, having completely shut down Millikin's offense other than 2 or 3 big plays.
Game clock operator, please put 27 seconds on the clock, please.
Yeah, so I misspoke thinking that the Big Blue would be willing to let the Thunder run out the clock, but Millikin, knowing that there's a slim chance after getting the ball back here, and the Thunder, instead of kneeling again, will decide to go back to the offense. So Bowers here, back to pass, facing pressure, gets it to Tyler Gauthier, and Tyler Gauthier's got a blockade in front of him, and Gauthier picks up a nice chunk of yardage, and oh man, that's the last thing that Millikin wanted to see, is after the timeout there, forcing the Thunder to come up with something, and they say, if you really want us to do something on the offensive side of the ball again, we will. And Gauthier doing all the work himself there. Bowers able to get the ball to him despite being hit, and with the blockade of blockers in front of him, I honestly thought Gauthier was going to be able to go all the way, and with that, that will be the conclusion
end of the first half.
Of the first half. The Thunder putting up an impressive second quarter after the first one was sloppy for both teams, now holding a 24-point lead over the visiting Big Blue. Thank you for joining us in this first half. We hope to have you back after halftime.
Welcome to the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts. We are thrilled with the provision of this building for Wheaton College, as it allows for professional training, opportunity, and experience for students, faculty, and staff, for many guests who come to this facility. We placed acoustics at the heart of the planning and the construction of this building, such that each room would sound beautiful and would best equip those using those spaces as they train and are equipped for the service to church and society. We are delighted that you are joining us and exploring the possibilities for you here in the Armerding Center for Music and the Arts. We are delighted that this building supports and encourages, makes possible artistic engagement in ways that we've not known before. But we most look forward to each person who would be here, a part of this vibrant artistic community of faculty, staff, students, and alumni, together joined in serving our Most High God.
Hello, my name's Priscilla, and I'm an applied health science major from Portland, Oregon. Thanks for joining our tour today.
And I'm Blake. I'm a history and communication major from Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to Wheaton. Let's get started. Established in 1860, Wheaton College is guided by its original mission for Christ and His kingdom, a mission to educate the whole person and prepare you to make the difference God is calling you to make. Our 2,400 undergraduate students come from all 50 states and over 70 countries to make Wheaton College their home for the next 4 years.
We're located in Wheaton, Illinois. Campus is only a short walk from a downtown area filled with coffee shops, parks, and restaurants. We're also next to a train stop that will take you directly into downtown Chicago. There, our students can access the arts, culture, internships, and job opportunities that the nation's third largest city provides. Also, your Wheaton student ID gets you free access to the Art Institute of Chicago, one of the largest art museums in the United States.
Our first stop is Blanchard Hall. the oldest and most iconic building on campus. Blanchard was built in 4 separate sections, beginning in 1853 and completed in 1927. It currently houses several academic departments and administrative offices. Since our founding, Wheaton has only had 8 presidents, starting with Jonathan Blanchard, a known abolitionist and believer in quality education for all. Our current president, Dr. Philip Wheaton, began his term in 2010, and the students are big fans of his. He regularly captains intramural teams, invites students over to his house for game nights, and if you ever need to find him, check the basketball courts around 6 a.m. He'll probably be playing his regularly scheduled pickup game in the Krauser Sports Complex.
Also featured in Blanchard Hall is our Missions Wall, a celebration of alumni who have gone on to serve in cross-cultural missions. Hundreds of names and decades of service around the world. Wheaton's commitment to academic excellence, the liberal arts, and education of the whole person will prepare you for whatever and wherever God is calling you, from the mission field to the boardroom.
We have over 50 majors, certificate programs, and accelerated master's programs. Our student-to-faculty ratio is about 10-1, and our average class size is about 23 students, which means you'll definitely get to know your professors. What's even better is that they will actually be intentional about getting to know you outside of the classroom, whether it be through office hours, meals in the dining hall, or even inviting students over to their homes for dinner. Few things make me happier than a home-cooked meal.
Wheaton values experiential learning for all students. We offer extensive study abroad opportunities through our Office of Global Programs and Studies. There are over 70 semester and summer programs. This next year, I'll be studying abroad through our Human Needs and Global Resources program, what we call Hunger. Hunger is an academic certificate program unique to Wheaton. It can be added to any major and includes on-campus coursework as well as a 6-month internship abroad, where you integrate your area of study with cross-cultural research and service.
Our next stop is Edmond Chapel. 3 times a week, students gather here for prayer and worship. Now I gotta be honest, having chapel 3 times a week seemed a little intimidating. But our chaplain's office does an incredible job at making chapel an engaging and enriching experience. We have diverse speakers from all over the world come to teach, as well as members from our own faculty, staff, and even student body. Chapel bands and student ensembles from our conservatory lead us in worship as well. Chapel is central to our mission because it refocuses our hearts and minds on God and on what Jesus is doing both in our lives and throughout the world. This large space also hosts concerts by Wheaton ensembles, guest artists, the annual talent show, and other student events run by our college union.
Armitage Center for Music and the Arts houses our Conservatory of Music. The conservatory provides professional training in music performance, music education, composition, and more with world-class faculty. Armitage was completely renovated in 2017 for our conservatory, with a recital hall, 2 recording studios, a digital keyboard lab, faculty studios, practice rooms, and more, all specifically designed with musical acoustics in mind. A new 650-seat concert hall and a large choral rehearsal room opened in August 2020, completing the 2nd stage of renovation. Dr. Michael Wilder, our Dean of the Conservatory, Arts and Communication, frequently reminds us of the biblical importance of music and worship. Even if you're not a music major, you can participate in one of our many ensembles or take private lessons, and you can add a certificate in worship arts to any major. Coming to college to study the sciences, I didn't know if I'd be able to stay involved in music, but quickly found musical outlets in gospel choir and our co-ed a cappella group, Amplify a cappella. Even with ensembles I'm not involved in, there are plenty of opportunities to enjoy campus concerts and performances each semester.
Krauser Sports Complex is home to 21 NCAA Division III intercollegiate teams, who combined have won over 40 conference championships in the last 10 years. We also have 7 club sports teams and many student-led intramurals, including sand volleyball, inner tube water polo, and more. 80% of the student body is involved in the activities offered through the Krauser Sports Complex. So Krauser plays a big part in student life at Wheaton. It has practice gyms, a rock climbing wall, a fully equipped weight room, and a dance studio featuring group fitness classes. Also housed in Krauser is a 25-meter pool and King Arena, used by our varsity volleyball, wrestling, and basketball teams. Our varsity men's basketball team made a Division III Final Four appearance in 2019. Across campus, you will see McCulley Stadium, home to the Wheaton Thunder football team, who advanced to the Division III quarterfinals in 2019. And next to that is Joe Bean Stadium, home to our men's and women's soccer teams. Let's go Thunder! Wheaton is a residential campus, and 90% of our students live on campus all 4 years, whether in residence halls, apartments, or houses. If you're an incoming freshman, you'll be living in one of our 2 underclassmen residence halls, Fisher Hall or Smith-Traber Hall.
With 75% of our students coming from outside of Illinois, we aren't a school where students go home on the weekends. Instead, students invest in making Wheaton their home, and residence life is a prime example of how living in community is central to our lives as Christians and central to daily life at Wheaton. Dedicated residence life staff supports students mentally, physically, and spiritually. Student residence assistants on each floor plan events and community building opportunities, like the annual Oktoberfest, a contest specific to Smith-Traber Hall, where floors prepare and offer immersive, themed tours.
But if you ask me, I had way more fun at the Fisher Dodgeball Tournament.
However, I think we can all agree that Smith-Traber is clearly the superior residence hall.
That's hilarious. Even the visitors watching know that Fisher is obviously better.
Our next stop is Myers Science Center. Rising from the rocks to the stars, with geology and environmental science on the lower level, and moving up to our observatory at the top, this structure is built on a grounded passion for learning through and from God's creation. Wheaton's commitment to the integration of faith and learning continues strongly through our study of the sciences. At Wheaton, we believe that all truth is God's truth. So the study of God's created order is both an academic and a spiritual pursuit. Almost all professors have their own labs where undergrad students conduct research alongside them. We offer rigorous preparation for pre-health tracks through our dedicated health professions office. As an applied health science major on the pre-nursing track, my hands-on learning experiences here have profoundly shaped my passion for the sciences. Getting to learn in the cadaver lab only deepened the way that I understand and engage my faith in relation to our physical embodiment. Meyer is also home to Perry the Mastodon, one of the most complete mastodon skeletons in North America. Found in nearby Glen Ellen in 1963, Perry was excavated by Wheaton geology students and now has inspired our Thunder mascot tour.
Beamer Student Center was named after Todd M. Beamer, a 1991 Wheaton alum who lost his life on Flight 93 during the 9/11 attacks. His famous words, "Let's roll," have become a motto to us here at Wheaton. Lower level Beamer, or low beams as we like to call it, is where you'll find study spaces, Sam's Coffee Shop, the Stoop Grill where you can grab some burgers and fries, a game room, the college post office, and the chaplain's office. Beamer also houses many of our student engagement offices, such as the Student Activities, the Office of Christian Outreach, the Office of Multicultural Development, and International Student Programs. Not to mention more than 75 student-initiated clubs and student-led groups. Low Beams is a pretty busy place. Each office has its own staff committed to student growth and resources for learning outside the classroom and having fun outside the classroom. But one of my all-time favorite spots in Low Beams is Gold Star Chapel, a small prayer chapel that's perfect for quiet devotional times. It's named Gold Star for the 39 Wheaton College students who gave their lives during World War II.
Beamer Student Center also houses Anderson Commons, our main dining hall served by Bon Appetit. We've been consistently ranked among the top in the nation for our food, and Bon Appetit is committed to preparing locally sourced meals in their scratch kitchen. The dining hall is a great place to meet friends old and new, enjoy a meal with one of your professors, and delve even deeper into the campus community.
Right across from Beamer is our bookstore and the Center for Vocation and Career, or the CVC. The CVC prepares you to take your Wheaton education out into the world, with dedicated career coaches assigned to specific majors. They will provide plenty of opportunities for growth throughout your 4 years here. Offering more than just the traditional resume and interview help, the CBC helps you figure out who you are, what strengths you bring, and where God is calling you through a curriculum of self-reflection, career exploration, and a commitment to internships. They also help networking and introducing students to employers. Wheaton has an extensive and international network of alumni who love to connect with and offer opportunities to current students.
At Wheaton, you don't have to settle. Wheaton gives you an opportunity to become the person God is calling you to be and prepares you to make the difference God is calling you to make for Christ and His kingdom.
Thank you for joining our tour today. Know that the admissions office and many more on this campus are praying for you, praying that the Lord would direct your next steps and guide your college decision. We would love to connect with you further. Contact the admissions office to meet your admissions counselor, get your questions answered, and to set up your next visit.
Do you have a computer charger?
We look forward to meeting you.
I should probably.
See you soon.
It's fine.
I have those stats up.
Yeah.
Over here. I'll put it in the middle.
Here we go. All up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to McCulley Stadium here in Wheaton, Illinois for this afternoon's football action between the home Wheaton Thunder, wearing all orange, and the visiting Millikin University Big Blue with the white tops and the blue pants. The score is 27-3 here as halftime nears its close. And before we talk a little bit more about the stories of the game so far, Noah, you have a CCIW score update for us.
Yeah, so scores across the CCIW so far today. We have Illinois Wesleyan up 13-3 against Augustana in the battle for 4th place in the conference. Meanwhile, Carthage is at Carroll. Carroll is up 38-0 on a rebound game after getting blown out by Wheaton last week. And we have Wash U at Elmhurst with Wash U up 28-6. Of course, here we have our Wheaton Thunder up 27-3 against Millikin as well. What would you say have been the real stories of the game so far?
Yeah, this has been a great game so far, one of the most competitive that we've seen here at home for the Thunder this season. The first quarter, for those of you who are not able to catch it, was pretty undisciplined for both teams. Just a lot of errors on every side of the ball for both teams. The Thunder, with Bowers throwing interception as well as losing a fumble. Tyler, I believe it was Matthew Tucker who lost a fumble along the sideline after a reception. We also had some miscues from the Big Blue. They had a few botched punts that resulted in easy points for the Thunder. But in the second quarter, the Thunder really returned to the team that we know, and they've just been dominant ever since. After putting up just one touchdown in the first quarter, the Thunder piled on another 20 points in the second, and just have looked like the dominant team that we know them to be. Going into this second half, I'm expecting to see just that continued intensity from the Thunder, especially on offense, to try and get enough distance from Millikin on the scoreboard to be able to get some of the reserves some valuable playing time. The Millikin offense has been feisty, in a word. They've had a few big chunk plays, have not been able to be very consistent on some of the shorter plays, but as far as being able to get chunk yardage, they've been pretty successful at that so far.
Yeah, the Wheaton defense has had a lot of success, but has had a couple of different times where just small miscues led Millikin to get way down the field. We saw a long 44-yard touchdown pass earlier to Donald McGee, and we've also seen a few different long pass attempts from Aiden Lombardo to his different receivers, especially Aiden Whitlock also getting a lot of action on the Millikin side. From Wheaton, we've seen some great play from Will Bowers. Had the one interception earlier, which was just more on the offensive line than him. And since then, he's been nearly perfect. Since that interception, having only thrown one incomplete pass, he's up to 80% completion percentage on the day, looking to build that number up still more. And so Wheaton's offense has put up 27 points so far and looking to do more as we start the second half here.
Yeah, Wheaton already up 24, and they deferred, so they will be receiving the second half kickoff here. If you're the Big Blue, certainly not the way you want to start off the second half, is having to face this high-powered Thunder offense. So it'll be a low kick taken by Jack Allen, who cuts across the field. He's got a lot of space, and Jack Allen with a great return and almost able to get around that last defender and potentially take it all the way. But, man, what a play to start off the second half for the Thunder. That was a lot of yardage there from Jack Allen. You can see on the Thriving Financial replay, he takes this low kick and goes from the near side of the field to the far side, just able to get around. He's got some great blocking from his teammates, and once he gets the angle, he's just able to use his speed to get past the defenders. You can see he's got 4 blue jerseys around him, but able to pick up a lot of yardage there. So the Thunder now on the Millikin 35 after a great return from Jack Allen. That'll be Gio Weeks on the carry right through the middle. And that'll be pickup of a few yards there for Gio Weeks. One of the few places the Thunder offense has struggled today is just when they've been running the ball up the middle. We've talked a little bit about the Millikin defensive line, which is their most experienced and most just intimidating position group on their team. One of their linemen actually was the one who was responsible for the interception earlier in the game. But the Thunder offense has had success in other ways, and that's Matthew Tucker on the reception, breaking the ankles of his defender. We can see here on the Thriving Financial replay, we'll see Matthew Tucker, after this reception, just let the defender that's closing in just fly right past him out of bounds. Look at him just gather himself and making the defender look silly before being brought down after just a few more yards.
It's a great job staying on his feet there. Wheaton going into halftime definitely had talked about we want to be better running the football to begin to allow that to open up the pass game. So they start off with a lead play with Gio Weeks and pick up that yardage that they've been lacking a little bit on those runs up the middle with physical play. And then from there, they have wide open passes, just like that wide open pass into the end zone for Ben Juska, his 4th touchdown of the year. And that's a great way to start off the second half for the Thunder.
Man, just look here. We're going to get the Thriving Financial replay after Caleb Mary's extra point attempt, but you'll see the defense really just being punished for sending a big blitz after Bowers. And I understand the decision there from the Big Blue defense to try and really force Bowers to be uncomfortable, but really just haven't been able to, in any way, really shake Bowers' confidence today. I mean, he had the early interception, but even with that, that was more of a really great defensive play than a failed offensive one. As Mary gets that one through, take a look here at the replay. Ben Juska is going to be wide open with no defender around him, and that's because of the blitz there. Just look at him there. Will Eggleston coming in, doesn't even have to give his teammate a block because the defender just not able to even get an attempt at a tackle there, and Juska able to just kind of walk into the end zone for his 4th touchdown of the year. He has been very active this game, I will say. We've seen him actually carry the ball quite a few times, Noah, and it's really fun to watch him carry the ball like a running back, and great to see him get in the end zone once again.
Yeah, he's been a real big asset to the Thunder football team so far today. That's already his, as I count here, I believe his ninth touch, of the game already between receptions and rushes. And he's wide open there. Millikin, like you said, was blitzing, so they're back into man coverage. But with Juska being on the line to start off with, looked like their linebacker had a miscommunication on who he was supposed to be covering. And so that leaves Juska off of a little bit of a delayed route wide open there in the end zone. It's a great kick there by Caleb Mary to send Wheaton's defense back onto the field.
Yep, touchback there on the kickoff from Caleb Mary. After switching sides of the field, Wheaton was kicking with the wind there instead of into it. And we'll see, like you said, Noah, the Thunder defense back on the field once again. They've played well this game, having one takeaway off of a Max Wilson interception. And they'll hope to force another takeaway or a mistake here as Lombardo back to pass. And with the pressure, that is Braden Anthony taking down Aiden Lombardo. What a great play from the senior defensive end.
Yeah, as we see on the Thriving Financial replay, he completely tossed the offensive lineman. That is not a good feeling there for number 77, Eli Hartsfield, the senior from the Big Blue. He's just sitting there on the ground watching as his man takes down the quarterback. We had mentioned at the beginning of the game that we were hoping to see Wheaton's defensive line blow up some plays. They've had some, but that's only their second sack, so they'll try to keep that number going higher as we continue in this game.
And the Big Blue go with the handoff here. Not much there, if any at all, and 3rd and 18, so no gain on that after an 8-yard loss following the Braden Anthony sack. So 3rd and long here for the Big Blue, deep in their own territory here. Saw things get just a little bit chippy after that play was over between some of the Wheaton linebackers and the offensive linemen of the Big Blue. Only natural when you're playing a competitive game like this for teams that are both very, very interested in taking away a win here. But that's Phil Pacherco pressure, and Cord Miller unable to bring in that. Lombardo getting pressured there on the throw. You'll see on the Thriving Financial replay, Phil Pacherco coming off the right side there. Nice pressure there from him. Lombardo actually delivers a really nice ball. Great spiral on it. Very catchable, but Cord Miller not able to bring it in. Miller's just been pretty off today. Tough to see that from him, but the Thunder happy to force an early 3-and-out as we have the punt team back on the field once again for the Big Blue. They have struggled quite a bit today, and that's a good snap
that ball's
for
tipped.
The punt team. But like you said, Noah, tipped, and that'll be a very short punt, all things considered. So the Thunder offense with great field position for the second time already this half after Jack Allen set them up great. This will be a punt that gives them a great place to start on this offensive possession.
Yeah, Millikin going with a different punt formation than they've had so far. They shortened their snap down, so the punter's only about 8 or 9 yards away instead of the usual 13. And because they're trying to make those adjustments with the struggles from the long snapper so far, that allows Wheaton's punt block team to get in there and tip the ball to give them even better field position now.
So the Thunder offense, this time Bowers under center, rarely does that, and he gives a handoff to Giovanni Weeks. Looks like Weeks at most picked up a yard there. He was swallowed up right away.
Yeah, this time on the Thriving Financial replay, we see defensive tackle Christopher Montgomery. He was a D3 Team of the Week member and a CCIW Defensive Player of the Week last week, and that's a lot of the reason why. He's really been good. He's utilized the spin move a lot of times, and he's just got some physical strength to really hold his gap together and not let many things go up the middle.
Bowers with the keeper here after having a full backfield, and Bowers taken down on a hard hit. Man, that was Josh Grant taking down Will Bowers, and Bowers understanding that when he takes the ball like this, he is declared a runner. But wow, what a nice takedown there from Josh Grant, the senior safety, taking down Will Bowers there. But Bauer still able to pick up some positive yardage, so 3rd and 6 now for the Thunder right at midfield.
Looks like Millikin's looking to send some pressure up the middle.
Yep, stacking the line here. Everyone playing close. Bauer's quick short pass. It's tipped off the hands of the defensive lineman. Looks like that was number 40, I believe, with the tip there.
Number 4.
Number 4, excuse me, Quentin Miller, who he's been playing pretty well this game. Only thing to really knock him for is a missed tackle on Bowers in the first half, excuse me. But Miller able to disrupt that pass attempt from Bowers, and that'll be a 3 and out from the Wheaton offense. First one we've seen from them today. This will be the first punt also for the Wheaton offense. So Evan Spees, the senior, out to punt for his Thunder. Punting with the wind. Spees will kick that one, and Cord Miller, the return man, and the ball will go into the end zone there. So Millikin will have a pretty good starting field position compared to what they've had so far, and their offense comes back out into the field. So the Thunder offense not able to get anything going there on that last offensive possession. We haven't seen that struggle from them all game so far.
Yeah, the Thunder offense kind of shut down there, forced to punt. It was interesting. We saw the defensive line once again putting a little bit of pressure on them, which is what they've been doing all day. But that time, just a little bit of something missing. A little bit of miscommunications there, I think, with the quarterback and his receivers, as now their quarterback is having his first run of the game. That'll be positive yardage there for Lombardo off of the carry, making his progressions on that play. Saw nobody open and decided to take it for himself.
Yeah, and we didn't get to see it there on the replay, but right before he took off, he did a bit of a pump fake to get the defender that was closing in on him off his feet. And from there, with your defender kind of frozen in the air, Lombardo just tucks the ball in and just takes it, gets some yardage. That'll be a first down for the Big Blue offense. So Lombardo, with one in the backfield, goes with a short pass and almost batted down there. That was, Aiden Whitlock was the intended receiver, and you could see Riley Schwartz right next to him getting in there, just putting a little bit of pressure there on the pass. So good defense there from the Thunder. That ball was thrown a little bit high as well, so not the greatest turn of events there for the Big Blue offense, but they have a few more opportunities here. 2nd and 10. This will be Lombardo with another toss, and this time it's almost intercepted. That's Sam Bell. Got his hands on it. That pass was intended for Caleb Patton, who has 1 reception today, but take a look here at the Thrivent Financial replay. Lombardo, quick pass intended for Patton, but just over his head. Patton was not on the same page as him, and Bell almost able to bring it down. That would have been Sam Bell's 6th interception of the year, but good defense there from the Thunder. Now 3rd and 10. The Big Blue have unfortunately found themselves in this position quite a lot today. Quite a few third downs, and this is where we've seen a few big plays from the Big Blue offense to salvage hopes on some drives, and we'll see what they have here up their sleeve. The Thunder showing blitz here, and that looks like we'll have a false start there. Jalen Schaefer rushed towards the line, stopped himself before.
False start. 85 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So that one will actually go against the offense. I only saw the defense moving, but probably because the offense did. So that'll go against Aiden Whitlock. We saw Jalen Schaefer showing blitz. He almost actually fell through the line, was able to keep his balance on the far side of the field. I believe it was Whitlock who started running his route before the ball was snapped, and so not exactly what you would hope to see as a Big Blue fan, as now they have another 5 yards to go to get that first down. So 3rd and 15 now, ball on their own 27.
Sending more pressure here.
Linebackers come back in coverage, and Aiden Lombardo is brought down on the sack. That is number 51, Philip Lachurko.
Picking up his 6th sack of the year here. It's a great rush from Lachurko. Has the stiff arm out on his offensive tackle, just runs with him and then cuts inside of him at the last second to bring down Lombardo. That's his 6th sack of the year. That will give him the team lead now Lechurko not always starting. Oh, that's another bad punt there. And so we'll see some interesting return here from McNeil Stout as he takes the ball at the 40, cuts it into the 35. More punt miscues from the Big Blue special teams unit. But as we see on this replay, Stout picks it up. Millikin had enough time to adjust. It's a great field position now for the Thunder offense. But Lechurko picking up his 6th sack now, which to lead the team in sacks when you're not always starting is a very impressive feat for the senior defensive end.
Yeah, he's just an absolute force whenever he's on the field, makes his presence known, and a really short field again for the Thunder offense after a really poor punt there. Giovanni Weeks with the carry, and folks, I don't know the level of knowledge we have here for those of us watching about football, but a lot of people like to disrespect special teams, especially punters and kickers, say that they aren't important, that a team can succeed without them. Today has been a perfect demonstration of why having a really well-rounded punt team is really important, as Millikin's issues on the special team side of the ball have really just put them in really difficult positions. You put your defense in this place now where the offense is fresh and only has about 35 yards to go to get into the end zone. There's a lot of value in having a really good punt team. Giovanni Weeks now on the carry. He's got wide open space, and he's going to go all the way to the end zone and absolutely trucks the defender in front of him. Goodness. He just put his shoulder into the defender. Giovanni Weeks showing off the strength, the speed, and will not be denied for yet another touchdown for Giovanni Weeks. Weeks now up to 14 touchdowns on this season.
That was a fantastic run from Gio Weeks. Right there. Starts off with a great block from Matthew Tucker, the receiver. Is able to get out to the corner, who's really the only man that Weeks has to beat. And then I called Ben Juska Wheaton's freight train earlier. On that play, that was Gio Weeks acting like a freight train to just level that defender into the end zone. And now, special teams has not been pretty here for either side today, as we have a botch snap on this side. But we'll watch the Thrivent Financial replay. Gio Weeks takes it to the outside. Great block from the offensive tackle. And you see Matthew Tucker run over that linebacker. Now it's one-on-one with Weeks as he sees the end zone in sight. And in comes the corner. And there goes the corner as he's leveled into the end zone. Helmet flying off. That one hurt.
Yeah, that's an impressive hit there from Gio Weeks, who's so physical but so fast. And like you said, no, it's worth noting the missed extra point there. They didn't even get a kick in the air just because of the botched snap there. So that'll be another special teams miscue between both teams. We've had our fair share of those, but Wheaton not sweating it too much as they're up 37 on the visiting Big Blue. So this will be Caleb Mary once again kicking off. He's kicking with the wind here. He'll likely get a bunch of air under this ball here, and he does. Wow, nice kick there from Mary. Beautiful into the end zone. That's another touchback for Caleb Mary. The Big Blue offense will be back on the field once again. We've got 8 minutes and 33 seconds left here in the third quarter, and ever since the start of the second quarter, it's been all Wheaton. They've just been dominant on every side of the ball. The only thing really not going their way was honestly that extra point attempt that we just saw. The botched snap just set them up for, just nothing happening there. But, when you get the touchdown, it's easier to stomach missing the extra point.
Yeah, now up 40-3. Going into halftime, this was definitely the closest game that we'd seen at home so far, but now Wheaton is, with already 40 points early in the third quarter, looking to repeat last week's 61-point showing.
That's Aiden Lombardo delivers the pass to Caleb Patton before he is taken down.
Patton with just the size there to put a little hit on the defenders himself as he catches the ball, but Lombardo able to get the ball off there, picking up some yardage. We haven't seen a lot of success on the short passing game from Millikin, so they're going to look to try to repeat that. But that was, Wheaton will take that because they're looking to get more pressure on that play.
Lombardo's pass batted down there. That was number 91, Caleb Kuhn, who got his hand on the ball there. So now both quarterbacks having a pass batted down this game. And on that earlier tackle, it's worth noting that that was Johnny Eller, the sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee, getting some action here in this game. He has not appeared yet for the Thunder, but now able to get some playing time. We've talked about the depth chart moving a little bit with the injury to Clayton Reeves. So Johnny Eller getting some valuable PT, making a good play on the Caleb Patton reception. So now 3rd and 3 for the Big Blue. Lombardo with a long back up there, and that is Johnny Eller, the sophomore, as we just talked about, getting into the backfield, forcing Lombardo to throw it away. And look at Lombardo, just keeps backing up as he sees
Intentional grounding.
the defenders.
Number 7 of the offense.
And
Slot
he
foul. 4th down.
will be called for intentional grounding. Johnny Eller on the field for 3 plays so far, and in those 3 plays, he has
That foul also includes loss of down.
he has a QB hurry and a tackle. So great start for the sophomore.
Absolutely a fantastic job from the sophomore middle linebacker there. Wheaton sends that fire blitz once again with all 3 linebackers rushing in, and you see Jalen Schaefer on one side, and you see the sophomore up the middle. He had nowhere to go. There's another long snap, and that will be a safety for the Wheaton defense. So those 2 missed extra points made up for with the safety, and now Wheaton will get the ball up 42-3.
Yeah, I mean, you can, in a football game, there's a lot of ways that the opposition can score on you. But when things like that happen, when you have miscues on the special team side, giving up a safety, I mean, you're giving the other team's offense free points, especially when you have a play like that where the snap is just mistimed, really poor. The Big Blue are going to have a lot of film to look at after this game when it comes to the special team side of the ball. The Thunder certainly not complaining about the opportunities that special teams miscues have given them this game. So the result of the safety will be a little bit different kickoff here. This will actually be Nawara, and he will actually be kicking it off here.
Yeah, so with a safety,
this is David Ramirez in still. It just changes the length of the field that they have to kick it.
Yes, they got to kick it from the 20. As you were mentioning earlier, special teams is such a key aspect of the game that's often overlooked. It's just new players a lot of the time here for Millikin on their special teams unit, as we see a good return there from Jack Allen up to the 38. Their punter, Navarra, as we've mentioned, it's only his 2nd game that he's played so far this year after their initial starting punter was out, injured against North Central. And we have the freshman long snapper in Vincent Couch, who's had his struggles today. They've been trying to shift back and forth, but with the amount of pressure that Wheaton's punt block team has been sending, it's been all over the place for the Big Blue special teams unit.
Yeah, and when you know there's a mental aspect of the game when you know that the defense is coming at you that just can make it hard to keep focused in those moments. And I think we've just seen some of the special teams players of the Big Blue just get a little bit rattled today. And I mean, it's pretty understandable given the ability and the force with which the Wheaton defenders approach and to bring down whatever the offense is trying to drum up. We've still got the starters out there for the Thunder. They're up by 39. We'll likely see the reserves get some minutes here later in the game, but for now, Bowers and Giovanni Weeks are still out there to lead the offense. This time it's Jack Allen getting the catch out of the backfield, so we've seen that play quite a few times. Jack Allen, that's one of the ones that the Thunder offense likes to run for him, just a quick route out of the backfield, quick throw to him, and Allen just really capable after the catch and able to pick up some extra yardage there, as you can see.
Yeah, it's good to see Allen. He's getting a lot of work here today with the rushes and receptions. He's already up to, I believe, 5 touches on this game, as we see Matthew Tucker picking up the first down for the Thunder with a nice out route there. Once that's back-to-back plays of just quick passes, getting the ball out of Bauer's hand quickly, not letting that defensive line from the Big Blue really have much of an impact. And so when you get the ball into those star players like Matthew Tucker and like Gio Weeks earlier in this game, once they have the ball in their hands, they're able to make those guys miss and pick up those yards after the catch.
Yep, so this will be Bowers once again. He's flanked in the backfield by Gio Weeks. Fake handoff there, and that pass is caught by Matthew Tucker once again, so 2 back-to-back receptions for him. And Tucker is someone that doesn't have the most eye-popping stats as far as his yards per catch compared to some of the other receivers on the team, but he is just such a consistent and reliable receiver. Bowers and him have some pretty undeniable chemistry, and Matthew Tucker, one of the best route runners on this team as well, and that's why he's able to pick up so much yardage on these really short, precise routes. Bowers back to pass, pushed out of the backfield with the pressure. He takes it himself, and that'll be another Thunder first down. Bowers on the keeper. Like we've talked about, Bowers just an incredible athlete, able to move the ball with his legs as well as his arm. As you can see here on the Thrivent Financial replay, he's pushed out of the backfield by Alexander Perkins, who's had a pretty good game for his Big Blue, and Bowers, after getting pushed out of his backfield, takes it himself and is able to pick up a Thunder first down.
Yeah, Perkins gets in there. It looked like they were trying to do a little miscommunication with the line blocking, and so Bowers decides to take it himself there. On the previous play, Matthew Tucker moved into the lead on receptions for this Thunder team. He's been, there's a reverse here as we see Gauthier taking the ball up the field. He's up to the 25 before he's finally taken down. That's a little bit of trickery once again there for this Thunder offense, as we see in the Thrivent Financial replay. We see the jet sweep from McNeil Stout, and everybody's going that way. And then we have Gauthier with a lead blocker using that speed to cross.
The foul in question
25.
was deemed legal. First down.
So there was a flag that got thrown on that play. The Thunder coaching staff was pretty adamant that they were not sure what that flag was thrown for, and then after conferring, the referees decided that it was actually legal and that there was no flag there. So that play will stand. So Gauthier able to take the ball with his legs.
Timeout. Millikin, their first charge timeout of the half.
So the Big Blue now will look to regroup after the big play from Gauthier. And we actually saw a very similar play from the Big Blue earlier, a jet sweep. There's not nearly as successful as the Thunder's there. And like you said, there was an element of misdirection there. I mean, McNeil Stout looked like he was the one who was going to take that. Ended up actually just being a blocker for Gauthier, who was able to really take advantage of what his team gave him and picked up a nice big chunk of yardage.
Yeah, so we talked about earlier when we saw Millikin try to run that play, the aspects of Wheaton's defense where they have built into it a force and a reverse player. Millikin's defense here is looking to be a lot more aggressive, looking to send every single guy to the ball, so they're not reserving any players to be a reverse player, which they've used that tactic to blitz a lot of times here, seeing their outside linebackers try to rush off the edge. This time, though, they're all trying to chase the ball. They're all going the wrong direction on the reverse, taking advantage of that to get the big gain from Gauthier.
Thunder offense remains on the field. 1st and 10 here. 22 yards to go to get to the end zone. Bowers flanked by Giovanni Weeks, who with the fake handoff, and Bowers, nice pinpoint pass to who other than Ben Juska. 2 touchdowns on the day for Ben Juska. That one on a beautiful tight spiral from Will Bowers. Just threw that one on a wire. Juska hauling it in. That's 2 touchdowns on the day for Ben Juska. Now 5 touchdowns for him on the season. And man, Juska has just been a really important focal point of the Thunder offense today. He's had quite a few touches as a runner, quite a few catches as a receiver, and as a result of all that, he has 2 touchdowns.
Absolutely. Ben Juska has been a player of the game so far for this Thunder offense. He's averaging over 13 yards per catch so far, and not including those rushes that he's had with a fullback dive and some end arounds. As we see on the Thrivent Financial replay here, we have a little bit of a breakdown once again in coverage as the Millikin corner that time, number 2, that's the linebacker, Alex Ariza, who is matched up man-to-man. And once again, like we saw earlier with the catch from Juska is delaying coming off the line slightly. He fakes blocking to then go out and run the route. And Ariza takes his eyes off of him once he sees the blocking steps, and that allows Juska to run right past him for a wide-open touchdown.
Yeah, the Thunder offense churning on all cylinders. Ever since the end of the first quarter, they've been absolutely on top of their game. We've got a new kicker out here for the Thunder. That is
number 88, Josh Winnett, the grad student, transferred in from the University of Georgia, now giving his first action of the season with a nice solid kick there to start off his Wheaton action, getting the touchback.
Yep, that was Cord Miller, the return man, decided to take a fair catch there. The Big Blue offense will take the field once again. And with that switch and kicker, I think that might be a signal that we're going to see quite a bit of play from the Wheaton reserve. So there's a good chance we'll see some of the second-team offense out there next time the Thunder get the ball back. Out there on the defensive side, you could see Philip Lachurko out there, so he is a reserve player for the Thunder. He's going to get some valuable minutes, and we know what Lachurko does with the time he gets on the field. He's just such a wrecking ball against whatever offense he faces. Lombardo completely missing his man, just not on the same page. That pass is intended for Joseph Bibbs, who's been a facet of their offense so far this game, but yeah, just not on the same page there as Joseph Bibbs, and that'll be an incomplete pass. So 2nd and 10 for the Big Blue.
Yeah. Lombardo feels the pocket collapsing around him, especially pressure from the defensive end, sophomore Isaac Parrish, who really runs through the offensive tackle on that play, and he tries to get rid of the ball a little too quickly.
Lombardo now, he ends up completing this one to Aiden Whitlock, the tight end who's gotten a lot of targets this game. So far, he's made the most of what he's been able to do, only missing a few targets, and a lot of those have been not thrown too well. And this time, Whitlock able to make good on that throw up the middle before being taken down by a group of Thunder players, including sophomore Johnny Eller, who's getting valuable playing time this game. He already has a tackle and a QB hurry, so he's been really great. Just another example that Wheaton just has so much depth at every position. You can have a guy like Johnny Eller who can come in after not getting PT all year and able to do something with it. And Lombardo pushed out of the backfield by Virgil Cannon, as well as some other Thunder players, and tries to get a nice pass along the sideline, hoping to make a highlight reel play here, looking for Joseph Bibbs, with that pass just a little too high. So that'll be yet another 3 and out here for the Big Blue, and even though it's 4th and 1, looking like they're going to elect to punt unless we get a fake here. But when you're down this much, you kind of want to avoid giving the Thunder a really good field position, so we're going to see the punt team out once again. We'll see if they're able to get a good punt off here, and that was a great snap there from the Big Blue, and they're going to let this one roll. Once again, the Thunder have not tried to return very much that the special teams of Big Blue has given them this game, choosing to let the ball roll most of the time.
Yeah, the Thunder, they're especially with the miscues that we've seen before, they're really looking to block the punt, not setting up for a return as much. On that play on 3rd down, really looking, again, the same, like more cautious slightly in looking more in coverage, not just sending the 3 men to rush, playing a cover 3 defense there, and doing effective rollout technique to force the turnover on or force the punt. As we now see a new quarterback in for the Thunder offense.
Yep, Jeremiah Tucker's in there, as well as Christian Karstens, who's also got some backup linemen. Aiden Kingsbury is out there for his Thunder offense, so getting a new group of guys in for the Thunder and get some valuable playing time for all of them.
Yeah, this will be a good match. Some good matchups for these second-string offensive linemen, still facing the top of Millikin's D-line, who have been the most successful part of Millikin's play here today, so they'll get some good reps in.
So that'll be a flag there on that play. Tucker escaping pressure, getting the ball to Christian Karstens. Oh my gosh, Christian Karstens still going. And I think this play is going to come back.
That's a free play there as the defense jumped off sides. So now that is, as we see on the Thriving Financial replay, number 90 for Millikin's defense. That'll be one of their defensive linemen.
Offsides. Defense number 90.
Charles
5-yard
Jackson.
penalties decline. First down.
Charles Jackson getting his reps in here in the blowout.
We have an injury timeout.
So Wheaton gets a free play there. Tucker uses his elusiveness that we've seen a lot in his playing time so far this year to keep the play alive and get it out to Christian Karstens for a first down.
Yep, we're going to see some more of the Wheaton offense, too, in the depth they have. J.J. Ruff has been out there for a few plays now. Junior from Edmond, Oklahoma, wide receiver for the Thunder. He's actually going to be coming to the sideline now, but we've got McNeil Stout, Will Eggleston, Tyler Gauthier out there. Jeremiah Tucker joining the backfield by Christian Karstens and Jack Allen. Tucker's been really great this season in the minutes that he's got. He put on a great performance last week in the second half of the game versus Carroll. Had a great touchdown pass. He's shown his abilities as a runner, like you mentioned, Noah, and we're going to see him here use his legs and almost escapes, but is taken down by number 9, Alexander Perkins, who's been one of the few bright spots for the Big Blue this game. He's been just a really dominant defender for them. He had the interception in the first half. He's had quite a few QB hurries, but able to take down Tucker there, who almost escaped, but it's going to be hard to get away from a guy like Perkins, who's just a really, really good defender.
Yeah, that's Perkins' 11th sack already this season. He's entered the game in third among all of Division III. He's now at second in all of the nation in sacks. It's been an impressive showing from him, but unfortunately there hasn't been much else to go along with him for this Big Blue defense and offense.
So Tucker there getting a handoff to Christian Karstens, who nice little cut there, moving away from Quentin Miller, who he was about to run into, and Karstens is just very, very agile. We've seen that the more time that he's been able to spend on the field, able to pick up a little bit there. 3rd and 12, though, for the Thunder. So we're going to see Tucker air it out here. He's back to pass and gets pressured and brought down. The defensive lineman would not be denied. You can see Charles Jackson was in there, as well as Perkins. Take a look at the Thriving Financial replay here. Perkins just getting away from his man, getting the hands on him first, and Charles Jackson comes in, helps to finish off the sack. And that'll be another 3 and out for the Thunder offense. So the second of the game that the Thunder have faced. 4th and 18. They're going to punt this one clearly. We're almost done here with the third quarter. So despite the offense that didn't really go anywhere on that possession, the Thunder are still very comfortable with their 46-point lead over the Big Blue. Cord Miller having to back up to get that punt, excuse me. So Spees with a nice punt there. He's been great. When you play for a team like the Thunder, you don't have to punt very much, but when Evan Spees has been called upon to kick the ball, he's done a really great job.
Yeah, just his 20th punt all year right there, and it's another really effective one. He's averaging he's nearly averaging 40 yards per kick on his punts, which has been really helpful for when the Thunder offense hasn't always, although they've done a lot of really productive drives on the offense, even when they aren't as successful, they still put the ball in the back. Sorry, I'm talking over myself as I got too excited as I saw a fumble on the ground there. And Wheaton will pick it up. It's a great job. We get that punt pushing Millikin back inside the 10, and then We have, looks like on the Thriving Financial replay,
Yeah, this
who
is
else
Philip
but Philip
Lachurko.
Lachurko, your favorite player.
He comes in around. We're going to get him coming in. He gets pushed around, but still able to pursue, forces the fumble. Philip Lachurko, for those of you who've listened along with a few of our replays, a lot of you will know that I am a big fan of Philip Lachurko, one of my favorite players on this Thunder team. He is just unstoppable on the defensive end. Could easily be starting for any team in the CCIW with his abilities, and that's another nice play from Philip Lachurko as Christian Carstens will take the handoff, and Christian Carstens is in the end zone for another Wheaton Thunder touchdown.
Oh, no, correction. He is spotted at the half-yard line, which is
Never mind.
unfortunately not what they were looking for. Carstens is looking to continue his streak. He has currently 3 games in a row with a touchdown scored, looking to make it 4 here. Just knocked out
That is
shy.
the end of the third quarter.
So now we will enter the fourth quarter with Wheaton looking to go up by 53 if they can put the ball into the end zone here. Since the first quarter, it's just been domination once again.
Yep, the first quarter saw Wheaton just playing very unlike themselves, very sloppy, pretty undisciplined. We even had quite a few penalties go against them, which we're not used to seeing from the Thunder. But after some coaching from Coach Jesse Scott, the Thunder have just been completely locked in. They've all been on the same page in every aspect of the football. We've seen the offense be able to really just move the ball at will. We've seen the defense put up just walls that are unable to be taken down by the Big Blue. We've seen some great plays from the Wheaton defensive line, especially. I think something we talked about at halftime, Noah, was how we didn't see as much of the Wheaton defensive line in the first half as we thought we were going to, especially against a pretty inexperienced Big Blue offensive line. But in the second half, the defensive line has just been absolutely unstoppable. They've all been just putting Lombardo in really difficult positions, and the offense has really benefited from that, as they're going to be just a yard from the end zone on second down here after the fumble caused by none other than Philip Lachurko, who's been a great player on the defensive line for them this game. So Jeremiah Tucker will be leading the offense here as they are just outside the end zone. We're probably going to see Carstens get a chance to get that touchdown that he wasn't able to get on the last play, And yep, that's a handoff to Christian Carstens, who gets into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Thunder. Christian Carstens, the reserve running back for the Thunder, gets into the end zone untouched. Thunder 55, Millikin 3. Caleb Mary will come out to kick, unless it's one of our other kickers. We'll see here. It looks like actually that's
Caleb Mary once again.
It is Caleb Mary. My mistake there. So Mary will look to knock this one through the uprights after the touchdown run by Christian Carstens. And looks like we had a defender get a little overeager there. Tried to stop himself before he crossed the line, but there's going to be a flag on that play.
Offsides. Defense. That penalty is declined. Try is good.
Yeah, so Wheaton's going to choose to decline that. We'll just take the extra point. We don't need to kick it again. And Wheaton is one touchdown away from besting their season high points in a game, which they set last week against Carroll. So last week against Carroll, they put up 61, sitting at 56 with a full quarter of play left. And what's been really impressive for me so far, Noah, is that the Thunder have, in a lot of the games this year, honestly, in most of the games, especially the ones at home, have been really a first-half team. They've really just put up all their points in the first half and been able to kind of ride that lead through the rest of the game. The Thunder in the first half certainly were very good, but not quite to the level of putting up points that we've seen. But in the second half, they've been just piling it on.
Yeah, absolutely. This is this Thunder team, as we see the kickoff here, another solid kick from the grad transfer from Georgia, putting Millikin to start off at the 25, as we see a couple flags on the field. But as we were saying, Wheaton to start off this year, starting off 2-2. It was a bit of a rocky start, having faced some really strong teams in Trinity and in North Central, as well as Illinois Wesleyan and Augustana, who are two of the top teams in the CCIW as well.
Holding on the return team, number 84. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
So Millikin will start at the 15 instead of the 25. But since that first 4 games, Wheaton now, assuming this score holds, which I feel fairly confident that it will have won 4 in a row, and in every single game in that 4-game win streak, having scored at least 56 points. Having scored at least 8 touchdowns in every single game for the last 4 weeks. That is complete domination. Against some solid teams, this Millikin defensive line is very impressive. In the last week, Carroll had some good, solid players that they've been featuring, and they've won other games, but just Wheaton right now is looking about as strong as the freight train that is rolling behind as we talk here on the field. It's been domination once again.
Yeah, and I think to give even more credit to the Thunder, it's even more impressive when you consider how many points they've put on the board, when you think about the fact that the starters in many of the past games have only had to play about one half of football. So you also have your reserves and even third-string players putting in meaningful contributions and just piling on the points. It is an interesting thought experiment to think about how many more points the Thunder could have scored if they had let their offense...
Pass interference. Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So that'll be a pass interference against Max Wilson. But just to finish what I was saying, if the Thunder had been a team that played their starters the entire game, it would be no doubt in my mind that they would have put up even more points than they already have.
Yeah, it's been just really impressive to see Will Bowers and Geo Weeks just super effective. I mean, pretty much every time you see them, Weeks is picking up another 5 to 10 yard rush, Bowers completing another pass. But then, like you said, they'd be super... Oh, what a hit! My goodness, Philip Lachurko. He didn't even realize he forced a fumble. Sorry, I got way too excited, but that was just destroyed. That defensive line has been incredible in this second half. Lachurko, nobody's touching him, flies in and absolutely hammers the Millikin quarterback. They brought in their second string, Booker Simmons, the freshman, and right now, as he's rolling on the ground, he's regretting it. That was a massive hit from Philip Lachurko, which Wheaton's defense going into the first half...
We have an inadvertent whistle. By rule, it's a loose ball. They get to replay the down. Still first down.
Oh, that's brutal. So, had a whistle there, so the sack won't count, which I'm sure Lachurko will be frustrated by. But that would have been the 7th sack, Lachurko's 4th sack of the game, which is really impressive. So we will now see once again a first down for this Big Blue offense, as it looks like Millikin's starting quarterback, Aiden Lombardo, will likely come back onto the field.
I know some of our viewers might be a little confused by that rule there, so could you explain a little bit of what just happened? Because obviously we saw the defensive play from Lachurko forcing the fumble. So why is Millikin getting a repeat down here?
Yeah, so Lachurko comes in and gets the sack there, forces the fumble. The ref blows the whistle following the sack as the quarterback hits the ground, and because of the whistle, you can't rule who is still paying attention and all of that. So with the ball on the ground, the play is live, but the play is dead because of the whistle.
Yeah.
So
okay.
With that, they have to replay the entire down because you don't know what could have happened. Frustrating for the Wheaton defense, but they will just hope to repeat the same effect here.
Yeah, so the referee thought that there was no fumble, thought it was just a sack, thought the play was dead. So unfortunately, that one taken away from Philip Lachurko. That certainly doesn't take away from the fact that he did that. Won't count on the stat sheet, but we will certainly remember that. And I think we might see Lachurko play with an even bigger chip on his shoulder here through the rest of this game, as he is already just pummeling Eli Hartsfeld, the lineman unfortunately assigned to him, as Lombardo forced to run out of the backfield very quickly there. Take a look at Lachurko here, just manhandling Hartsfeld, who is doing everything in his power to try and stop him, and Lombardo able to pick up some positive yardage, which is great for the Big Blue, but only 3 yards. So 2nd and 7 here for the Millikin offense.
Yeah, you said everything in his power to keep Lachurko back, and everything in his power there included a holding call that wasn't called. Lachurko is being physical out there, just trying to dominate over the offensive linemen that are, unfortunately, as you said, matched up against him. He's such a force to be reckoned with on this Wheaton defense. It's been really fun to watch him today.
Yeah, he's just one of those guys that you don't know. I think there's going to be a level of appreciation that we have for Philip Lachurko after he graduates, when we realize how important he was to this team's success. He is just a force. That's the only way to really describe him. 3rd and 7 here. After that long attempted pass, and Lombardo taken down, and Philip Lachurko got there. He and Christian Bonaquisti were there. Look at Philip Lachurko. Hartsfeld just completely loses him. That was actually number 48.
Isaac Parrish
Joined by Christian Bonaquisti and finished off by Philip Lachurko. So nice play there from the Wheaton defense on 3rd and 7. Loss of 8 on the play. And now the Big Blue find themselves punting once again. Philip Lachurko refusing to be denied, along with his teammates along the defensive line. And that punt almost blocked. Ends up being kicked very high to avoid interference from the defensive player. And that'll be a very short punt. Even though Nowara was punting with the wind, he had to get that ball off as quickly as possible because of the defenders coming in to try and block it. So the Thunder offense will have great starting field position, and with a touchdown here, they will surpass their season high in points scored in a game. And I would love to see that happen.
Absolutely.
As Jeremiah Tucker is still out there at quarterback.
We get Henry Brown getting in on the at running back here for this drive. Henry Brown showed out last week with a great touchdown rush. Had, I believe, 4 rushes for over 60 yards. Just more of that impressive depth that we've seen from Wheaton's offense.
Yeah, Brown, which I'm sure we'll see this game, is just such a physical runner. He's not necessarily the tallest guy out there, but that's honestly great for a running back. He's small, he's really packed with muscle, and he can just punch the ball through anyone, as we can see there, just muscling his way through the much larger defensive linemen. Brown is going to be a player that we call the name of a lot more over the coming years of Thunder football.
Absolutely. When you're at a football practice with the running backs, the thing you'll hear over and over is pad level low. Brown, you're right, he's not the tallest guy, and he really stays low. We saw on that last run, as we saw in the Thrivent Financial replay, Brown goes low and runs over a linebacker. Right there we see Jeremiah Tucker himself running up against a linebacker, and he delivers the blow, which is another great thing from a quarterback to see. Right there, just picking up enough for a first down. It's a great run by Jeremiah Tucker. But as I was saying about Henry Brown, stays low, and when he's matched up with a linebacker, he runs through them. We've seen a lot of times today where guys have run over people and then been, brought down. Brown is not being brought down. He runs through them and on to the next level.
Yeah, Brown is just an impressive player. We've got a new offensive player in for the Thunder, Randy Vajcek, tight end, number 32. So we'll be seeing him this game, as lots of contact here on this play. That was Henry Brown with the carry. Not much there for him on that one. Defenders came through, the linebackers doing their job, taking down the run play there. Both teams now firmly entrenched in having the backup players in, getting some valuable playing time. We're seeing that as well from the Big Blue, taking the opportunity to let everyone get a chance to get some valuable playing experience as the game is out of hand. Thunder with that comfortable 53-point lead. Comfortable probably isn't a good enough word for it, honestly. Jeremiah Tucker back to pass. He finds McNeil Stout across the middle. McNeil Stout with some speed, able to move around and get some extra yardage. Great catch there by McNeil Stout and able to make something happen.
Yeah, it's a good slant route, which Tucker hits him right in stride. We see McNeil Stout from the slot. He's matched up with a linebacker. That time it's Daniel Gwynn, the sophomore. And one-on-one, we've seen a lot of those today where wide receivers are matched up one-on-one with a linebacker. And Wheaton's receiver speed has really shown out today, and it's allowed them to get open for these big gains.
We've also got receiver Eli Odell in on the near sideline, and there's a flag right away. Free play, Jeremiah Tucker rolling out, back corner of the end zone, and that's a touchdown, Thunder.
Will Eggleston with his second touchdown of the year. Jeremiah Tucker once again taking advantage of a great free play there with the hard count. Millikin's defensive line a little undisciplined, jumps off sides, and Tucker throws it up.
Offsides. Defense number 98. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Tucker throws that into the back corner of the end zone. That's a beautifully placed ball. One of his best throws that we've seen all year from the senior Jeremiah Tucker. And Will Eggleston entered the game with no touchdowns to his name for his career, and he exits with 2, or at least 2, I should say. We still have 9 minutes left in this game.
Yeah, and with that touchdown catch by Eggleston, the Thunder now at their highest point total in the game of this season, with the Jack Riken extra point, which makes it through. They best last week's season high of 61 by 2 points. Thunder now winning by 60 points over the Big Blue, and it's incredible to think about the game that we saw in the first quarter, which looked like it could end up being really competitive, and now just about an hour later we see ourselves looking at the scoreboard and seeing the Thunder up by 60 points.
60 points of a lead is unbelievable. This has been a fantastic second half from the Thunder. We've seen just standouts at every spot. I feel like we've said that pretty much every week so far that we've had a home broadcast. Standouts at every spot, but there's no other way to describe it. Will Eggleston, you have the second string, especially here with Jeremiah Tucker making great plays, Henry Brown and Christian Karsten, making great rushes, and then you have Will Eggleston and Tyler Gauthier and McNeil Stout making great catches. It's everywhere.
Yeah, you really can't find a weakness on this Thunder team. Right now, along the Thunder sideline, senior Ben Thorson is warming up to get some reps at quarterback, most likely. At the next Thunder offensive possession, the Thunder just in control. That's been a theme of this whole season for them. Like you said, started off 2-2 for, I believe, the first time since 2001. 2001, and not used to seeing the Thunder have a start to a season like that. But of course, when you go against 2 top 10 ranked opponents in the first few weeks, it's going to be a difficult challenge even for a team like the Thunder. On the jet sweep here, this is Joseph Bibbs. This time, this is the same play they ran for him earlier in the game, and this time it results in some positive yardage instead of yards lost. So a bright spot there for the Big Blue. But as we were saying, the Thunder, after starting 2-2 for the first time in over 20 years, now back to their comfortable winning ways. They've been just so dominant as they prepare and hope for a chance at the postseason. And if I was any other team in Division III, I would not want to play a team like the Thunder in the postseason.
Absolutely not. Thunder are competing for one of those at-large bids right now. They're looking really strong doing it over this 4-game win streak.
Lombardo airing it out, looking for Whitlock along the near sideline. They ran a similar play to that earlier in the game. Whitlock was just on the opposite sideline, just jetting up, hoping to get just a catch off a long straight run towards the end zone, and they're good coverage there. Lombardo also overthrew him a bit, so we're going to see on the Thrivent Financial replay there, hoping to get something going here, but overthrows Whitlock by about 10 yards, and he's just more dead ends here for the Big Blue offense.
Yeah, it has been a lot of dead ends. That's a good way of describing it. There's not enough time to throw, not enough of an opening to throw it to, and even when there has been, we've seen drops that they haven't been able to bring it in. It's just been a tough day for Millikin's offense so far.
Yeah, Ian Haggerty taking the carry here. You can see on the financial replay, he's actually able to get past the lineman there, but it's just brought down very soon after. Just not much there, and the Thunder defense, earlier in the game gave up some big chunks of yardage through the air, but ever since then have been pretty difficult to pass against. In the whole game, they've just been impossible to run against. They've just completely bottled up any chance at a ground attack that the Big Blues had.
Absolutely. On that last play, we saw freshman Luca Torti making his tackle, getting some action here for the freshman class as he makes another tackle on that play, number 41, Luca Torti. We've seen, really, like you said, it's been almost impossible to run against this defense. The defensive line is winning every matchup in this second half, and the linebacking core is flowing so well, reading those plays, that even if they try to go outside, we've seen such quick reactions from the linebacker core, whether it's the starters like Jalen Schaefer and Keegan Babick, or it's the second strings like Luca Torti or Ryan Miller and those freshmen and sophomores as well. It's been very impressive.
Johnny Eller also getting some playing time, a great name to mention alongside those other guys. As another punt from the Big Blue offense, 7 minutes and 3 seconds left in this fourth quarter, and oh man, this game has just really got out of hand for the Big Blue. The Thunder now with plenty of time to score. Once again, that would put them, given the thought of them making the extra point, a clean 70 points, which is certainly not outside of the realm of possibilities. We've got senior Ben Thorson in at quarterback now after Jeremiah Tucker got some valuable reps. He's going to be joined in the backfield by Henry Brown, who we talked a little bit already this game, who's just been a great man behind Christian Karstens this year. Just the Thunder with depth at every position. Thorson's going to start off this drive here on the Thunder's own 19. Henry Brown with the carry, and even though he wasn't able to get much yardage there, he broke out of a few tackles right away. Henry Brown, just such a physical runner, only a sophomore if I remember correctly, and at just seeing the potential that he has as a pretty young player is just really got to be encouraging if you're Coach Jesse Scott or any of the younger players on this team, knowing you've got a future star here in Henry Brown.
Absolutely. Henry Brown has looked very impressive with so many seniors with this running back rotation so far. It's very good to see someone like him coming in and having so much success.
And Ben Thorson was looking for McNeil Stout there, and the ball just came off of McNeil Stout's hands. You can see he was up in the air going for the catch.
Official timeout for injury.
There's going to be a timeout here, but a little bit of a wobble on that ball, and Stout had some contact from the defender while he was in the air. Not able to pull that one down, so it's going to be 3rd and 9 when the offense is back on the field here for the Thunder. This is some of the worst starting field position that the Thunder have had all game. They're on their own 20 right now, so starting on their own 19. The Big Blue hoping to take advantage of this and just be able to show some chutzpah, for lack of a better word, on the defensive end.
Yeah, they've gotten in there, that defensive line coming back to life a little bit, stifling Henry Brown on the first rush, and then not able to make the connection between Thorson and Stout there in the second play. So 3rd and long, looking to have a little bit of yardage here for the Thunder. As they get another free play with an offsides penalty. Oh, they're going to whistle it dead. Looks like this might have been a false start first.
Offsides.
Oh, no, we do get the
Defense
offsides.
number 5. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
So must have made contact with the offensive lineman for them to whistle the play dead beforehand. But with the offsides penalty, that'll make it a much more manageable, just 3rd and 4.
Yep.
So play call will change a little bit, go back to the running game most likely, up by 60 with 6 minutes left here in the game. Just trying to run out this clock and take it in for another smooth victory as they prepare for Wash U next week.
Yep, so this will be Ben Thorson. He's in the backfield now with Jack Allen. Ben Thorson throwing with the defenders all around him, almost intercepted there by Kendall Doherty, number 13 of the Big Blue. Almost has hands on it. If he had been able to pull that interception, he most certainly would have taken it into the end zone for a touchdown. He had nothing but open space in front of him, but a little sigh of relief there from the Thunder as they're able to escape from a potential touchdown. Now, certainly that would not have done much to the outcome of this game, but it's nice when the defense can earn as close to a shutout as possible. As this will be Evan Spees punting again this game. Like we were talking about earlier, Spees now with just 21 punts on the season. He's not had to be used much when you have an offense that's as effective as the Thunder's, but in his time that he has had to punt, he has been just really spectacular. Great ball placement all around. He's got a really strong leg, so it's good to see him getting some playing time as well.
Yeah, good to get the ball back across the midfield line. Force Millikin to have to actually move the ball to get into the red zone here, which gives the defense a little bit more room to breathe here so they can be more aggressive.
Yep, so this is Lombardo. Once again, he finds Joseph Bibbs, and
it's a hit
Bibbs
there.
is leveled.
Looked like number 35, Noah Jones, the senior, the safety, allows the catch to happen in front of him and then goes in and hammers him from behind. As we see in the Thrivent Financial replay, Jones is playing deep in the cover 2 defense, and as soon as he reads that the ball's out of his hands, he's flying forward to try to make that hit. Isn't able to break up the pass, but is definitely going to leave a hit that receiver will feel tomorrow.
Yep, so that's a 1st and 10 now after the pickup by Bibbs. This time it'll be a handoff to Haggerty once again, who's handled the majority of the running back duties for the Big Blue this game. That's going to be a pickup of looks of like about 1 or 2, so not much there on the ground. And that's been the story of the rushing attack of the Big Blue all game. Now, Noah, you mentioned that the Thunder are going to be playing Wash U next week. This is going to be the most difficult opponent that the Thunder have faced off against since they played North Central in Naperville a few weeks ago. Wash U, the only other undefeated team in the CCIW besides North Central. So that's going to be a big game for the Thunder. Our test against a really challenging opponent, and one that would be much more similar to the strength of an opponent that they would end up facing in the postseason.
Yeah, Wash U, the second team in the CCIW after suffering their first loss last week when they played North Central themselves. But as you mentioned, they were undefeated going into that game. That was a really heavyweight matchup between 2 really strong programs, and now Wheaton is going to be riding a 4-game winning streak going into that. Likely not going to be such a wide margin as we've seen the last few weeks there as we go at Wash U. That'll be one of the biggest games in all of Division III, which getting a win there would be huge for Wheaton's resume entering into a hopeful postseason berth.
Yep, Haggerty with the little pickup there. Yeah, Wash U with that only 1 loss after being undefeated coming to North Central. The Thunder, yeah, will have a tough matchup, not only just against a strong opponent, but also the fact that they won't be at home. They've been at home for the past few games. Their most recent trip out of town was when they played
Augustana, I believe.
Augustana, yeah. And that was in... Oh, excuse me. Their last out-of-town game was actually at Carthage 2 weekends ago. And they were able to come out of that one with a 59-24 win. So the last time they were in someone else's house and played against a tough opponent was at North Central in Naperville, as Lombardo is taken out of bounds after attempting to escape and able to get away from multiple defenders, but is finally brought down by number 48, Isaac Parrish. Great pursuit here by Parrish. Look at him moving his way through. Haggerty, oh, excuse me, that was number 42, not number 48. So
be Caleb McClung, the sophomore linebacker, getting his action in as well. It's good to see these freshmen and sophomores really making their presence felt here. Parrish did have a great job chasing it down, and then McClung comes flying over after reading the quarterback run, able to force the turnover on downs.
Yep, so Ben Thorson still in the game at quarterback. quick pass out to the sideline. That's caught by J.J. Ruff, the junior. Ruff, nice catch there. Ruff, a shorter receiver, but very shifty, as you can see here, able to use that size and that elusiveness to get around the first defender and spin out of a tackle to get enough of yardage there. Now Thunder just 3 yards away from yet another first down. They've been just dominating in that category this game. Thorson with 2 in the backfield with him. This will be a handoff to Henry Brown. You can see Brown trucks ahead, head full of steam, puts his shoulder down, pads low like we talked about earlier, and able to pick up an easy first down. Brown just such an impressive player.
He's one of my favorites to watch right now. The way that you see his legs just churning forward, and he's a powerful runner. We've said that a couple of times already, but like he's getting 4 or 5 yards after the initial contact each time. It's been very impressive so far.
Thorson against pressure, able to move out, and Thorson will tuck the ball in and take it himself, and Thorson's running, and he's got open field in front of him, and this is going to be a touchdown run for senior Ben Thorson.
Ben Thorson throws his arms in the air in celebration, picking up his first touchdown of his career. It's great to see that for the senior. Gets in there. He's not had a ton of time at quarterback, but he finally gets into the end zone. That's just a joy for him in family weekend here for the Thunder. And now Thorson celebrating with his teammates on the sideline. As we see Jeremiah Tucker up there smiling with them. Everybody's happy. Thorson, not necessarily known for his legs, but has the opening on that rush and brings it into the end zone. And now with this extra point from Riken, and it's blocked. So that will end. Wheaton will be at 69 points. A very nice outing for them so far in this for this game, and 69 points to Millikin's 3.
Yeah, nice score to end this game on, up 66 on the opposing team. Thorson certainly going to remember this for a while. It just brings joy to my heart to see all the players able to celebrate after something like that, just being happy for their teammates who are able to all get in on the action. Just look at the joy in Ben Thorson there, able to take it in himself. And man, what a dominant outing. Wheaton now 8 points above their previous season best in points. Not able to get to that even 70, but 69 is still nice to be at. So this is going to be a kickoff here from the grad transfer who's been able to handle some kicking duties this game. And the return looked promising, but we've already got a flag out, so looks like penalties has just been a story in this game, and we're going to have yet another. We'll see who this goes against here. The referee's about to enlighten us as to what happened here.
As we wait for the official ruling here.
Hold. Number 84, the return team. 10-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
It's a great job there on the special teams unit from sophomore defensive back Andrew Partica out of Jacksonville, Florida, able to get in to make a play there, pick up a tackle, get himself on the stat sheet before the holding penalty. So now Millikin, you know, they're not looking to try to win this game, certainly at this point, but looking to try to at least find something to move into next week with, as that ball is dropped, and that's not what they were looking for.
Yeah, Joseph Bibbs, he's been targeted and used a lot on the offensive side of the ball this game. He's also one of the big blue return men, but you can see he gets his hands on, he's open. He could have hauled that in, but made contact with the ground at the very end of what could have been a reception and just loses the ball there. We've said this about a lot of opponents who have played against the Thunder at home, but just, yeah, not a lot of things going Big Blue's way today. And the Thunder continuing to make it hard for Lombardo as he's forced to throw it away and just barely gets out of bounds. And we've got a flag on the field, number 68 of the Big Blue. He gave a late push on a Thunder defender, and I believe, if I saw everything correctly, that's going to be an obvious penalty against the lineman there of the Big Blue, who just let his frustration get the best of him, took out one of the Wheaton players. We're going to see here, the referee's about to tell us.
Yeah, so we'll have 2 penalties likely, because that was almost definitely intentional grounding, as Lombardo saw 3 men in his face.
Intentional grounding, number 7 to the offense. That's a spot foul, loss of down. After the play was over, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, offense number 68, half the distance to the goal, 3rd down.
So now, after the double penalty with the grounding and the unsportsmanlike, as we'll see the pressure that Lombardo's facing, and he just throws it away. Could have even been a fumble on that with a backwards pass potentially, and then we'll see number 68 with the late hit there for the penalty. That's number 68, Lino Campbell, the freshman guard for Millikin. Understandable to see this frustration after just being kind of dismantled at all aspects of the game. It's tough with this much physicality not to let that aggression get the best of you.
So that'll be Ian Haggerty with another carry for the offense, able to avoid another safety. Excuse me, that was not Ian Haggerty. That was Matthew Salazar, who surprisingly we haven't seen much at all this game. He's listed as one of the lead running backs for Big Blue, but that was one of the first times we've seen him, I believe, since the first quarter. And the Thunder now 4th and 26 here. That is quite the down, and the Big Blue backed up as far as they can be into the end zone. This is going to be a short punt, so definitely an opportunity here for the Thunder special teams. And this is going to be a really short punt. This is about the best opportunity that you have as a return man, and McNeil Stout, even though he didn't get in the end zone, takes it far enough to let the Thunder offense start at the 20.
It's a great job there, just picking up those yardage that you can get, putting Wheaton inside the 20 with that return. We'll see if they attempt to get any more yardage here or if they're just going to take the kneel down. As it looks like we might have another quarterback. Looks like the 4th quarterback we've seen today. This time,
that's senior Skylar Piercy, number 15.
It's great to see 4 seniors getting into the game at quarterback all over the place. So we'll run at least one play with Piercy.
Got Piercy with just an easy handoff there. The Thunder obviously just going to let the clock run down here. And that was a handoff to Henry Brown, who's gotten some valuable PT this game. McNeil Stout leaves the game. In for him is Randy Vajcek, who we saw earlier. He's number 32, the tight end. Clock running down. We've got just over a minute left here in this CCIW matchup with the Thunder handling it about as well as you could. The 66-point victory incoming, barring a late touchdown here from the Thunder. Piercy ready here, and he's going to hand off once again to Noah Brown, who's stuffed at the line. Players getting a little bit chippy still. We've seen a few moments like that this game, most recently with the unsportsmanlike conduct called against the Big Blue offensive lineman, but this has been quite the game. The Thunder have just shown their abilities, their depth, their discipline. After getting off to a slow start in the first quarter, playing very unlike themselves, corrected course and just came out and just put on a clinic.
Absolutely. As we see the Skylar Piercy take the kneel down to finish this game out. So just fantastic game all around from the Wheaton offense. As we look at some final numbers here, we had Tyler Gauthier with 82 yards and a touchdown. Ben Juska picking up 2 touchdowns. Will Eggleston picking up his first 2 touchdowns of his career. We had great accuracy from both Bowers and Tucker. Ben Thorson getting his first rushing touchdown. And, of course, Gio Weeks entering into the top 10 all-time in Wheaton rushing yards. Just a fantastic game all around from Wheaton. As we'll watch one more time one of our highlights here. Gio Weeks at the very beginning of the game with a wide open spaces for a 65-yard touchdown. Just domination all over the field.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us this afternoon for the football matchup between the visiting Millikin Big Blue taking on the home number 15, your own Wheaton Thunder, who put on a show for us We'll see. The Thunder next week will not be home. They will be visiting Wash U in St. Louis. Make sure to tune in to that game. It's sure to be a real entertaining one with a lot of stakes. The Thunder will return for the last game of the regular season the week after that here for Senior Day versus North Park here at home. Thank you again for joining us once again. Final score, Wheaton 69, Millikin 3. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This has been Josh Beisel and Noah Hested. Have a great week.